All right, straight politicking on you fools. I'm sitting here with Munchie B, the mayor, Spider Loc, the most easty, and we're here to bring you another banger, y'all. How's it going, y'all?
Yeah, abundant blessings, man.
Abundant blessings. Bring your mic down just a little bit so I can see your face.
Kicking cack, being bull. Y'all
There you
see
go.
the shirt, me, Alex Alonso, Munchie B, the motherfucking mayor.
Kicking back, being boo. I see that shirt. That's a nice thing. What you rocking on your hoodie, Munch? Aldo? What does it say? Also. Is that also?
Hell yeah, I rushed and got dressed because Spider jugged me out. So I was tired. I was about to be like, man, we could bust it back and we could just do, you know what I'm saying, play politic and we could go at 3. He's like, he didn't have shit to do after this. He just like,
You know why? Last week. That's the way my time was treated last week. There's no way I was going to agree to that.
hell yeah. So he drugged me out the bed. I'm like, all right.
Hey, last week you guys had a very memorable incident after you left here. I don't want to get into it at all. I think you guys talked a little bit about it, but you shouldn't talk about it at all.
God is good.
No, it's just the abortion topic always gonna be, you know what I mean?
He's not talking about our dynamic on
No, I'm talking
camera.
about after you guys left. After you guys left.
Gratitude is attitude. Jeter.
I'm just glad you guys are back here for another episode of Straight Politicking.
Oh yeah, God is good.
Hey, before we start some of these topics, I did a lot of research on over 40 and hits, and I think Munchie touched on it last week that you got to tap in with the younger artists. If you tap in with the younger artists, you can stay relevant. And to a certain degree, he's absolutely right, because I just looked at just Snoop Dogg, for example. Snoop Dogg has hits within the last 2 or 3 years that have charted, but they're all collab hits. And I think I told you before we started, his last solo hit was when he was about 36 or 37 years old. So there is some truth to what I'm saying, but Munchie's right. You got to tap in with the Travis Scotts, with the Katy Perrys, with the Akons, with whoever's hot at the time.
Be a young boy.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And
I think Akon is old too, but I hear you.
yeah, but does that still, that doesn't take away from the main point about being 40 and over and having it's being challenging to create a hit.
Ageism is a thing.
Yeah.
And Akon, he remixed a song that was dear to a lot of people locked up, and he remixed it with a straight snitch, bro. That's a black art.
Hey, how come, you know what? I think this is one topic that almost comes up in every episode.
Still being a snitch.
Snitching. Not just snitching.
Yeah,
Just-
If you straight politicking, it's probably going to happen.
yeah.
I'm saying, but that song was dear to a lot of people locked up.
I love that cut.
Yeah, I hate the
Right.
fact that Akon not only allowed him to do it, that'd be one thing, and be silent about it. But when he went to justify it and all that,
That was weird.
Yeah, that was weird, bro.
All right.
You got your shit is convict music.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Now I want to list off a few of Snoop Dogg's more recent charters that are after he turned 40 years old. For example, he got a song here called "Stuck on a Feeling." Charted 43 in 2015. He turned 40 in 2012. So he's 43 during Stuck on a Feeling, but it's a collab with someone named Prince Royce. Prince Royce. I don't know who Prince Royce is.
So who you believe carried whom at that time? Did Prince Royce have the budget that would help create a hit, or did Prince Royce really need a Snoop Dogg presence to create a hit? I wonder.
Well, I think that these collabs do help the older artists. I'm assuming Prince Royce is the younger. Okay, how about this one? You and Your Friends charted at 82 in 2014 when Snoop was 42, featuring Wiz Khalifa and Ty Dolla $ign.
So who took who to the charge? Did Snoop take them, or did they take Snoop?
I think they probably carried each other.
I think Snoop deserves that, though. It's not like he's a bum-ass nobody that's relying on these young people. I think he's remained relevant and put it down so long and lent his celebrity to other artists that at this time, nothing wrong with Uncle Snoop being supported by the younger audience to remain relevant. I think that's showing respect.
Okay.
I think without Ty Dolla $ign, that song wouldn't have charted. Let it just been Wiz Khalifa and Snoop. He wouldn't have charted.
Okay, here's 2012. This is the year he would have turned 40. He had a song that charted at 100 called "Snitches Ain't ... featuring Tyga
I think Nipsey was on that.
and Nipsey Hussle.
Nightwood.
Why you forgot my boy?
Oh, why? My bad. My
Yeah, what's
bad.
up, man? We just did,
YG featuring Tyga, Snoop Dogg, and Nipsey Hussle.
we just did the mark. We just did the walk for Paru, and
yeah,
you just forget the homie YG.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a minute. But
yeah, man. How dare you?
but I find it fascinating that all these over 40 hits that Snoop has, every single one of them are collabs.
He knows the formula. Well, how many?
Yeah, he aware of that.
Yeah, he knows the formula.
Let me see. Here's another one. Institutionalized came out in 2015. He would have been about 43. Guess who's on Institutionalized?
Hope it ain't Akon.
Let me guess. I can't guess.
Kendrick Lamar
Wow.
featuring Bilal, Anna Wise, and Snoop Dogg.
I don't know Anna Wise. I know Bilal. He's like a neo soul artist.
That charted at 99 in 2015.
K-Dot on there.
Yeah.
K-Dot gonna take anything to the next level.
Okay, here's one in 2018. So he would have been 45. Dope Niggas charted at 39, featuring another over 40, actually. Oh, no, he wasn't over 40 in 2018.
40.
Lil Wayne.
Oh.
Lil Wayne just is 41, 42 now. So in 2018, he was in his early or mid 30s.
But us analyzing this subject and then using Snoop for a metric, does that really give us a good indication? Because Snoop is like an anomaly. He's like
but if Snoop can't do it, if Snoop can't do it,
makes sense.
Then how difficult? It is a super difficult thing to do, to be over 40 and have a charting hit as a solo artist.
Definitely.
His last solo artist charting hit was 09, I believe, or 08.
Now, do we think that has more to do with the consumers that create hits are more youthful, and the people that love Snoop passionately are less involved in actually spending money on music entertainment?
And maybe Snoop's fans have gotten older.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah, indeed.
And music is not as important. You know, we got mortgages, we got car notes, we got kids in college. But when you collab with, you know, a younger artist, you're tapping in. Here's another, in 2022, Snoop charted 72 with a song called From the D to the LBC. Oh, you got to know who he collabed with on that one. Eminem from the D is Detroit. Yeah. And you know what's interesting about this one? It doesn't say Eminem featuring Snoop Dogg or Snoop Dogg featuring Eminem. It just says Eminem and Snoop Dogg.
That's an ego clash, not negatively.
Yeah.
That's respect that we both are going to do this together, not one carrying the other, I imagine.
And that was 2022. That was just 3 years ago.
Honestly, when I leave here, I gotta listen to that because I can't picture that song sounding good.
And I'm thinking that Eminem. I know Snoop turned 50 in 2022. I don't know what age Eminem would have been in 2 years ago, but both of them would have been. I think Eminem might have been over 40. So that's impressive.
If Jay not on that beat, I can't really hear that song. Just like
when Eminem and Snoop Dogg, the two biggest names ever in hip hop. So how impressive is it for these two guys to be able to do it together when they both benefited from the hugest budgets ever, the biggest exposures, and they've had some of the biggest runs, the biggest pass. When they unite, they should at least be able to get, you know, a third of the population to listen to their music.
Hey, it charted at 72.
I wanted to know.
Say it once again.
So that means Eminem is 51 years old. So 2 years ago he was 49. That's a anomaly right here. Two guys over 40. Actually, Eminem would have been 49. Snoop Dogg would have been 50 in 2022.
Is that post their little spat they had a couple years ago or before?
I don't know. But I'm definitely going to tap in with that song, From the D to the LBC.
Y'all need to check it out. I want to know how old is Haley. I heard his daughter looking good.
There you go.
Eminem? You didn't hear that, Alex?
Nah, man.
Come on, man.
I don't tap in with dudes' daughters.
What? Everybody is somebody's daughter. What are you talking about?
And this is a daughter dad here.
Yeah.
Haley?
All right, I'm gonna get one more song before we move on. One more over 40 charting song. There got to be one more. But let me also share with the people that Snoop, in his whole career, he has been on 3 number 1 hits, and all 3 of those number 1 hits were collabs.
Wait a minute, Gin and Juice was never a number 1 hit?
No, Gin and Juice charted at 8 in 1994. Wow. Yeah, that's impressive. You number 8?
But it just seems so huge. I just never would imagine it was never number 1. And then back then, it wasn't a lot of rap music, so he was number 8 against a lot of other genres of music.
Yeah, he hit number 8 with that one. And but here's the thing: all his number 1 hits are non-death row songs and collabs.
So post the death row era.
Post death row era. Yeah. So he got "Drop It Like It Hot." Everyone knows that one. That's with Pharrell.
I knew that was one.
"I Wanna Love You" with Akon. And "California Girls," I'm not tapped in with this song with Katy Perry.
Nah.
That's a number 1 hit.
I would have. I thought it was.
Do y'all think he got an ear for talent as far as signing artists?
Snoop?
Right.
Well, he signed the guy that I didn't think really panned out for him from the north side of Long Beach.
He's not a good rapper. You talking about Loc, right?
Yeah, Java.
I can't.
And then Nate Dogg's son. Everybody know him just as Nate Dogg's son. Can you name a song you got, or do you got a song you like about Nate Dogg's son?
Not at all.
But does he have an ear for talent to throw Nate Dogg's son?
And then you got Snoop Dogg. I mean Snoopy Badass. So he just wastes ink and opinion. It seemed like.
I don't know
for real.
I don't think Snoopy Badass was he officially signed?
No. It didn't get to that part
Okay.
before. You know what I'm saying?
But it seemed that Snoop Dogg was impressed with his talent.
He chained him and he showed some interest. So I'm like, damn, for you to be so talented, Snoop don't have an ear for talent, bro.
That's a different. You're talking about it as a producer then.
Man, I got an ear for talent.
Being a producer is a whole different thing than being the actual artist.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
It's like being the coach and being the player. I remember when Magic Johnson was the baddest point guard in the 1980s and the early 90s. Bro couldn't coach a lick. He couldn't coach a lick,
Doesn't seem like Jordan been much as an owner either.
And look, the best coaches were mediocre players. Look at Phil Jackson.
True.
Mediocre player.
True, Pat. Yeah.
You think Pat Riley, mediocre player. All of the quote unquote, because I don't know how we measure great coaches, but all these coaches that we're calling great, mediocre players.
Yeah, and then how well did Larry Bird do as a coach?
Obviously not that well.
But a great player. Yeah, I get it.
One of the greatest. So I don't think one means you're going to be successful in the other. Being an artist and being a producer, scouting talent and being the talent, two different things.
yeah, I challenge Snoop Dogg, man, to come with a young fire artist. I challenge him, and then particularly from the West Coast, please.
Plus, his ear for talent in the 90s is different for his ear for talent in the 2020s.
Well, I just have to mention, since you mentioned North Long Beach, Blue Smurf up next, Paymac Music, Money and Murder. Music and Money. 2 M's is this project, Blue Smurf, Northside Long Beach.
All right, any final thoughts on this whole 40 and over hit making, collabs, Snoop Dogg? Oh, one more artist that I know for a fact has a solo hit over 40, rapper, that we didn't mention last episode.
How recently? And since what?
Very recently, and I'll give you a hint. Female. Nicki Minaj. She just turned, she's like 42 now, 41 or 42, and she just put out a banger like a year or two ago. She's charting still.
Very believable.
She's probably the only female. I haven't double checked this. Somebody can fact check me. I'm gonna say this without even having checked this. Nicki Minaj is the only female rapper in the history of rap with a solo hit after 40 years old.
I believe she's the youngest 40 the game has seen. I believe her career stint is short enough, and she must have come in the game older than we imagined. Because for her to realize 40 this fast and seem like
she's been out for a minute,
but it doesn't seem as if she's in that 40 club with everybody else we're naming.
Remember when she did that Biggie remix?
Nicki
Minaj?
No, I don't.
Who the hell is this? Paging me at 5:46 in the
did
morning, crack of dawn, and I'm yawning. Well, she did a whole remix to that same song.
Look at the New York come out this nigga. He was even rocking like the New York is when he said
that song was probably almost 20 years ago.
I wasn't hip to her like that. That's crazy.
That's the first time I heard her. I was like, wow, she got something. That song maybe came out in like,
was her 40-year-old hit a collab?
No, she has a solo hit as a 40-year-old, 40 and over. And I don't think any other female has done that. You want to challenge me on that, Munch?
No, I think as far as female rap, she on top, even with the breaks she take.
But she has a collab with Ice Spice that charted.
Well, yeah. she got her due, but she's also put on for herself. That's big.
Yeah, Ice Spice is like 23 years old. She's like 40. Isn't that something?
Somebody just hit me up with a bag for Ice Spice and Sexy Red. I'm trying to get in touch with both those young ladies. I got 6-figure numbers on the table. I swear to God.
Ice Spice, tap in. I'm a munch.
Oh, my mama. Those Ice Spice and Sexy Red, though. It's a November date. Anybody that can help me get in touch with these young ladies, we got some money on the table.
Okay, let's move on to top story of the day. Former San Luis Obispo County Sheriff Deputy sentenced to only, I added the only, 7 months in federal prison for abusing a jail inmate while on duty. Are we shocked and surprised that this even happens?
Not at all.
I'm shocked and surprised he's being held accountable at all, yes.
Yeah, well, this is 2024.
So
if this
finally,
was 1990...
yes, you would be shocked and appalled. Not that it occurred, but the fact that he's being held responsible is salutable.
Now, I know for a fact, when I was a youngster, I'm gonna say from 85 up until 92, cops, police officers, deputies was whipping ass all the time. And I don't recall how often anyone went to jail for it between 85 and 92.
How about never? and no one went to jail until 92. Rodney King.
Yeah, Rodney King was 92.
First time somebody was caught on camera in modern time to make a type of noise about.
I say 92 because that was the year I was a freshman in college, and I kind of didn't really witness what was going on in the street. But from 85 to 92, them 7-8 years, I saw a whole lot of police ass whooping.
You was a freshman in college. I was a junior in high school. That's crazy.
But I was an old freshman.
Okay.
I was a 22-year-old. I was a 21-year-old freshman. 22-year-old. Can you believe I felt old when I got to college? Because everybody that I'm in the classroom 17, 18 years old. I'm 22, and I'm like, damn. I wasted 4 years of my life.
I'm taking a class at community college when I was in my 30s at Compton College. And then one of the classes we actually had to take at a continuation high school in Lakewood. And I sat in class in my 30s with high school students, so I can relate to the feeling, yeah.
But I think it was dumb that I thought I was old.
Definitely.
As a 22-year-old sitting in a classroom with 18-year-olds.
It's not dumb. There was a gap. Perceivable gap, but when you look back, it just wasn't a wise assessment.
Now the 30-year-old gap, I can see that's a much pronounced gap. But
you don't care at that time. You were really looking at them like they're kids. And you don't care if you look old at that age.
I was trying to blend in.
Yeah, see, you were still that close. Yeah,
I was trying to be, but I knew that not everybody was buying it.
But if you just for your sake of knowledge wanted to take a class today, you wouldn't give a how you looked in the class.
Nah, not today. But yeah, this.
How about you, Munch? If you decided to take a class just because you wanted to get up on something, would you care to feel young or no?
Nah, I wouldn't care about the age.
Nah.
Yeah, because you on the young gerbs anyway. They legal.
No, I'm there to take the class. I ain't tripping. Like I ain't gonna feel. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
All right. So Joshua Fisher, former San Luis Obispo County Sheriff Deputy, was sentenced to 7 months in federal prison for physically abusing an inmate in the Intake Release Center in November of 2018. Man, that was 6 years ago, and he's finally getting sentenced.
Is there a video of what took place? Did you ever see it?
Let me see. No, I didn't see it.
Highly doubt it.
Fisher pleaded guilty on April 2nd to one misdemeanor count of deprivation of rights under the color of law, and part of his plea agreement required he not seek future employment in law enforcement detail, the Department of Justice said in a press conference about the sentencing. See, this has been another problem. Cops get in trouble, they get a smack on the wrist, but then they go somewhere else and get rehired.
Rest in peace, Sonia Massey is the case with the officer that took her life.
So he had a history.
6 departments in 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you know what? The George Floyd Justice Act is supposed to have that integrated in it. And for whatever reason, I don't know if the George Floyd Justice Act has passed.
It hasn't.
The way it originally is supposed to pass.
It hasn't.
And one of the things in that is stipulated that if you're in trouble, you cannot be a cop again. You know?
So that's deep.
In that George Floyd Act. But so this guy right here agreed. I will never seek employment as a cop again.
Did you hear any reports that the George Floyd officer shaving got poked up recently?
Yeah, I did hear that. Yeah.
I ain't racing that as of now, though.
That was earlier this year, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so on November 18, 2018, Deputy Fisher was a correctional deputy assigned to the Intake Release Center in San Luis Obispo from January 17 to December 18. According to the Department of Justice, Fisher instructed a female inmate to exit her cell and enter into an adjacent cell while on duty. Now, let me stop here. This is another thing. They're paying more attention to female inmates now. You know, if you do something to a female inmate, you're most likely, if you're the victim, to get your story out there quicker and faster to the masses.
Hey, Spider, he said St. Louis Obispo earlier. We was thinking about the male prison.
Yeah,
It's females.
Yeah, this is female.
And then you said intake. He start effing with her as soon as she came to the prison.
Yeah, this is jail. This is not
jail.
prison.
This is not CMC.
Yeah.
It's not the prison. It's just sheriffs. I keep saying sheriff. That's what threw me off.
Yeah, this is
It's not CO.
Oh, so when we heard St. Louis Obispo, we think about the state prison.
Yeah, this is local jail.
It's city jail. Yeah,
This is the local jail.
Oh, he was a horn dog. No, he's a perverted little weirdo, and then they go his way, and he put his hands on that woman.
Oh, it's beat or sexual.
The shirtless inmate argued with Fisher, turned away from him, crossed her arms over her chest, and attempted to re-enter her cell when Deputy Fisher grabbed her by her hair and pulled her to the ground, explained the Department of Justice.
What?
See?
They must got video.
Horn dog.
Fisher then dragged the inmate by her hair for several feet and forcibly placed her into an adjacent cell before closing the cell door, stated the Department of Justice. I doubt they have cameras inside the cells, though, right?
So there's nothing sexual indicated. It's just that she was topless and he was violent.
He wanted to see some titties and she crossing her arms, bro. He's perverted.
Okay, so in the plea agreement, Fisher admitted he knew his use of force was unreasonable and unnecessary and that he acted willfully with the intent to deprive the inmate of her right to be free from the use of excessive force, but nothing sexual is described. But that is a sexual.
They still gave him 7 years, though.
No, 7 months.
Oh, 7 months? Man, get the fuck out of here, man. I thought we were talking about 7 years. Man.
Look, his employment with the sheriff's department was terminated before charges connected to the incident were filed by the U.S. District Court. And, he only got 7 months.
So she, go ahead.
Help me out. What's her name? We were just talking about her. Gloria
Allred.
Mm-hmm.
Gloria, reach out to that young lady, man. She got a bag on the table.
Yeah, they don't even identify her, but
she's gonna have effects of that potentially far beyond 7 years. She might see an officer and run the opposite way just because of that for the rest of her life.
I spotted. Look, she was shirtless.
Wow.
Whatever the back and forth was, and she crossed her. It's like, bro, I bet you if we find a picture of him, he's a loser, and you could tell he don't get no action at women. Just looking at the picture.
Oh, incel.
I think the Department of Justice went easy on him without the sexual assault charges.
I agree. It's privilege.
7 months.
Yeah, I agree.
And he quickly agreed, I'll never work again for a cop.
And
because he didn't want to get that sexual.
That may lend to your point that there were no video.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Hey, little mama, reach out to Gloria. What's her last name?
Allred.
And get your money. And then reach out to me and Sherry.
Yeah, because you're getting a lot of money suing the whole county.
What?
San Luis Obispo County. She already got an attorney up there is already on this.
And that's rich real estate out there. There's money out there.
Hey, bro, based on she was shirtless, bro, it should have been a female deputy even dealing with her anyway.
First place. You damn right.
So what are you doing, sir?
Pervert. I'm on your side now. You
Nah, for
perverted
real, bro.
piece of...
You're not even supposed to be dealing with her like that. You know what I'm saying? Where's the female? I don't like that.
Hey, what if
bro.
Joshua Fisher, former deputy Joshua Fisher, is married?
He probably is.
Got kids.
He probably has connections in the community that helps him, mitigate the consequences.
I disagree. Find his booking photo, and every woman in the comments, the viewers go agree that he don't get any from any woman.
Let's make him an incel, ladies.
I'm on you, Joshua Fisher. I'm gonna find
7 months. That's a slap in the face, bro.
I'm gonna find out.
You got to find your booking picture, and I know you like a weirdo, and you never got no ass.
I get disappointed a lot of times when I be looking up for their mugshots, and they don't always post these cops' mugshots. I think the police union got to deal with the prosecuting office to put out the least amount of information on these deputies and cops, even though they're criminally charged, but put out the least amount. Why so? What's the excuse?
I believe his will be up though, because he kind of like already admitted guilt, and
it doesn't matter.
They put him off the hood type shit.
But I believe they always keep in consideration the shit that he can turn around and start talking about that he's aware of to the department too.
No, I think the police union argue that the deputy's family is also
a threat
by the public. So we want to limit as much information we put out there, even though the public deserves it. So how many times I look for mugshots of cops and it doesn't even exist? They just you got the name, we got the name, but we don't got the picture. So I just did a quick search and nope. None of these is the Joshua Fisher we talking about.
Doesn't Joshua Fisher, hate to admit it, sound like one of the typical names that would be? It sounds like a name like that, bro.
But what you got to do is you got to dig into this Facebook, and you'll find some photos, but they're not gonna put out the mugshot for an officer like that.
Straight Politicking, the podcast, Street TV, Spider Loc, Alex Alonso, Munchie B. Just thought I'd get that in.
All right, I'm against charging for interviews, but I know you guys gonna get your money if you're gonna do an interview, right?
Yes, sir.
But I can't just create a system here on a platform where I'm paying for interviews. But a lot of platforms, well, I'm not even gonna say a lot. I'm gonna say a handful of platforms have started paying. And when they started paying, other people started getting noticed. Now everybody wants to get paid. I think this one guest took it to a whole nother level when he went on Shannon Sharp. Took it to a whole nother level because we have never seen an interview go so viral ever.
Cat Williams.
Cat Williams.
Shout out to the GOAT.
And I don't know if Shannon Sharp and Cat Williams had an agreement prior, but I do know that Shannon Sharp exaggerated how much he made off that interview.
Initially.
Yeah.
I mean, if you went to,
You remember what number Shannon Sharp said he made?
5 million, I think.
Not possible.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
And Vlad made
what he
that very
said?
clear.
Oh yeah. Because you're gonna make about $5,000 per million views, so you do the math on that. It doesn't come out to $5 million. He might have made a $500,000 to $1 million if you do the
Which
math
is
on
still
that.
that's phenomenal
That's
for
incredible.
an hour's conversation.
Yeah, that's incredible for one guest, and then that doesn't even count if you clipping the interview into other parts.
think maybe he all that.
Maybe he taking that into account that he all the clipping he did and the full interview. Maybe he did.
Yeah, but I think someone already did the fact check on that.
Yeah, Vlad broke it down, but what I did realize is this. I don't think they took in consideration the long term. I think Shannon was speaking of what he had already made. Had he been speaking about the projection of what it's going to make in the long term, it might have seemed more realistic.
Okay, so I bring that up because just recently, Vlad asked Marlon Wayans to come on the show.
Of the Wayans brothers?
Yes.
The one we talked about a couple weeks ago?
Of the legendary family, the Wayans. And I happen to know a couple of them. I used to dabble in comedy in the early 2000s.
You are not funny, dude.
So
Oh, you was a Seinfeld type nigga.
I'm not surprised that didn't last, nigga. You was
Hold
not
on,
funny, Alex.
hold on. That's the first
I
I
used,
heard
to, I
this.
used to hang out with a lot of comedians. In fact,
What you mean by dabble though? You got on stage?
no.
Oh,
Me as a
okay.
comedian, never.
Oh,
No, that's
that's
what
what
we
I'm saying.
thought.
You are
I
not
dabbled
funny.
in the field
just
of comedy.
being around.
Being a producer, just trying to,
Okay.
and in the early 2000s, and met a lot of comedians.
Okay, I thought you said.
They actually have a sister that I thought was very funny named Shantae Wayans. I used to actually host a stand-up spot in Hollywood. Shantae used to come through and do her thing at a coffee shop.
So the host don't have to be funny? I thought they had to shoot their little jokes in there too.
No, I wasn't on stage.
Oh, you was
It was my spot.
All right.
I had cameras there. I had the mics. I had just like we doing here on the podcast, but we were doing that with comedy.
Is she cute in person?
I never really judged her looks,
Okay.
Whoa.
but she was more. I think she was more of the interested in the other persuasion,
Oh, okay.
or the same persuasion, I should say. Right?
Okay.
Is that the correct way to say it?
Either or, we get your point.
Yeah. So she was never someone that I looked at like that. But she was a cool girl, funny. The Wayans family's deep.
Did she ever pop up on any of the In Living Color type?
No, she was too young back
No,
then.
she did some behind the scenes things or something like
Yeah,
that.
in 1990 when In Living Color premiered, she probably was like either just born or like 5 years old. Let me think. In the early 2000s.
I heard wrong then.
So in the early 2000s, she was about, let's say she was in her 20s in the early 2000s. So in 1990,
She was a teen,
like 10.
preteen.
Yeah. But the family is deep. The family is legendary. And you know what Marlon Wayans told Vlad?
All I saw was a title. It's about 40K, but I don't know actually what transpired.
Okay, well, what happened was during an interview with Ari Spears. Y'all up on Ari Spears?
Yep.
Yeah, I think bro's kind of funny.
Yeah, he was funny. I mean, he got some controversy too, but go ahead. We can get sidetracked. Yeah.
He did it. Vlad had it. I think Ari Spears is now a regular on Vlad.
Okay.
So during one of their interviews, Vlad shared with Ari Spears that Marlon wanted to charge him 40 racks to come on the show. And he said Vlad said absolutely not. Ari Spears didn't. I think Ari Spears deliberately kind of stayed away from it.
As he should.
And he just listened to Vlad vent. And then Vlad decided, let me go to Twitter and put that out there.
Shit, you already put it on the interview. Why not?
Yeah, you already put it on the interview. So let me read a couple tweets and then I'll get your reaction. So the first tweet is DJ Vlad's Twitter account, at DJ Vlad. Go.
Vladimir.
It says he posted, Marlon Wayans found someone with 200 followers to agree with him.
Wow.
LOL. Nobody on earth is going to pay Marlon 40 racks for an interview when he gets 100K to 300K views on any platform he interviews on. This guy is really delusional. What's your reaction to that?
He said how many from what views to what views?
100K to 300K.
Okay. I mean, I want to know who. What's the median for the amount of views that Vlad get for him to say that?
What do you mean?
Well, like, where do we average around when they come to views as far as he go? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you mean when Vlad gives an interview?
Right.
Well, that's going to be one of the tweets that I'll read in a little bit.
Okay, and what's the other one that's a regular? I couldn't think of his name. He be like, who raised you? He talk kind of feminine to me.
One of the Wayans?
No, he's a comedian, man. I can't think
Godfrey?
Not Godfrey. Not Ari Spears.
OG or a young
The
one?
one that stole from Eddie Murphy. We'll go back to it. He stole Eddie Murphy.
Younger or older dude?
Older now. You know what I'm saying?
No, not Paul Mooney. He way older.
No, we'll go back to it.
When you say feminine.
He talk feminine. To me, he just I know he not gay.
Okay.
No.
Oh, TK Kirkland?
There we go. I want to know when TK Kirkland go on there, because he was a regular for a long time, what do he average on there?
Oh, in views?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. But one of the things I didn't really like about this tweet by Vlad was that saying that someone with 200 followers agrees with him. It's like we're measuring people's value and credibility and whether their voice matters by the number of followers they have. I just think it's ridiculous. So that means if someone had 500,000 followers, then that would have meant more to Vlad. But this guy has 200 followers that agreed with Marlon.
Well, in his defense, I think his whole approach to responding is off base. But when you're off base with that, when he feel like he has the right to assess Marlon's value, then of course everything he's gonna say is there's no way Vlad can assess a member of our community's value and what we appreciate. When we look at like how you describe what the Wayans family was able to do from ground up, Vlad's willing to pay his price has nothing to do with it being established at that value.
Do you know that, I just thought of this right now, the Wayans family is probably the most successful Hollywood acting comedy family ever.
I agree.
Ever.
Evident.
So anyone from that family that you want to pick out and holler at, you're going to have to go by their, whatever they're asking.
And Vlad, people are getting at you from a position as you have been highly viewed as a vulture of our community. So he's letting you know, I'm not interested in your platform. But if you really want me to come on here and lend my expertise, I'm going to charge you a very premium price. It has nothing to do with how many views he's going to get. You're missing the whole point that's being sent to you from people in our community who do not need your platform to be exposed. Those who are established and well-grounded and confident in what they have to offer the world are not interested in being on your platform.
All right, let me read you want to say something, Munch?
No, go ahead.
I was going to read the Marlon's response. Marlon says, smiley emojis. See, I tried to tell him I was giving him a deal. Oh, well. You mad? You unprofessional, my guy. If you don't like the number, keep it moving. You look bad. You should fall back, mad at a black man, stating his number. And now you go public and use your platform to try to drag me. I never in my life dealt with this silly negotiating tactic.
I agree. Because you can't afford it now, it's disrespectful.
No, I don't think
he could afford it.
I don't think Vlad is. It's not about he can't afford it.
But we're going to give him.
I think Vlad feel like people should be what's the word to come on this platform?
Eager, pleased, happy, desperate.
Yeah, no, not desperate, but
Willing, eager,
whatever.
anxious,
That he feel like
lining up.
something along those lines, lining up like, yeah, I got this big platform, and you know what I'm saying? Delighted.
What's that?
I'll go delighted. And then on top of that, I feel if these rappers charge 30, 40, 50,000 a verse.
The Boosie, huh? Oh, I thought you wanted Vlad. My bad. Go ahead.
These rappers charge 30, 40, 50 a verse upwards of that. Why somebody of Marlon Wayans' stature can't charge 40K and you go have this footage for the rest of his life?
I think the problem.
He wanted 30% of all.
Oh yeah. He wanted some on the back end too.
Huh?
30% of all future. I'm telling you, boy, he was making a point.
Hold on. 30% what? Hold on.
Of the AdSense.
Yeah.
Oh, no. He just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say. He was trying to make a point to Vlad about his appearance as a vulture. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that Marlon probably didn't want to do the interview at all. Period.
Exactly.
I know, probably.
And a lot of people that don't want to do the interview, rather than saying no, I'm not interested in it, you give them a number that you know they're not going to pay. And usually that's the end of the conversation. That's the end of the thing. You just go separate ways.
Or what about a counter offer? Isn't that how business works? professionalism? Vlad want to
How do you
accuse him.
counter offer 40 racks
No, and then what percent of the AdSense?
or 30%?
See, crazy.
But I've been hearing reports that he gives Boosie $30K. I don't know how true that is, but that's been the common understanding that Boosie gets 30.
But it might have been the AdSense that threw it off.
But it's still a business conversation.
Yeah, but he's never paid that much for any interview, so I don't think he was even willing to pay anything near that. And I'll give you an example. He tried, Vlad, when me and Vlad were talking, he reached out to me to get Bone to come on there. Bone don't do interviews. So Bone told me to tell him a ridiculous number that he knew he was going to say no to.
Give us ideas so we can compare. What
I don't want
range?
to say what the number was.
And I know the number.
The whole thing is,
'cause I don't do-
Bonnie want to do it anyway. So
Bone- yeah.
he put the
Yeah.
price high so he could turn it down. Like, well,
So Bone didn't want to do it at all, but he said, hey, if he wants to do it, then tell him this is what my number is to go to a charity, actually. This is the number to go to a charity. And then what's crazy is Vlad tried to call somebody else to try to go get to Bone. And the same result. I'm like, I'm the one. If you want to get to Bone, you got to go through me. Just so you know, But he gave him a high number, and I think that maybe Marlon was giving the same message. I don't want to
agree.
I don't want to do it.
the AdSense is ridiculous. I don't think the 40,000 was ridiculous though.
It's ridiculous in concept, but when you're a black man trying to make a point to a non-black man who benefits off our culture, all he does is turn on cameras and microphones. That's been his addition.
Stand behind the camera.
Yeah, and so therefore I understand the statement that Marlon was making by taking that position.
I understand the statement, the stand he was taking, but if he was serious, that's really what he was trying to negotiate. I think the 3% of the AdSense is ridiculous.
30.
I mean,
But he's making everybody that come behind him aware of maybe I should be doing a little bit more negotiating when I get on this platform, because if you become aware that Vlad is giving you nothing or whatever he's giving you, and then he's going on with that content to ascertain millions, you have to start thinking collectively of what percentage of that is our input. It's all our creative speaking. He does nothing but capture it. So there has to come, when you, especially at the upper echelon of our members, have to think about offsetting, the profit. He's gotten away like a fat cat.
yeah, but really though, this is like I might be saying the word wrong, non sequitur, but it might because he didn't have no intentions on doing it. Period.
He was making a point.
Yeah. But if he was really like even considering moving forward with doing an interview with him, the 30% of the AdSense that's what is a deal breaker.
Yeah. Why do you feel that way? You agree? Why do you guys feel that way?
I do think that, first of all, paying $40,000 for an interview, I think is outrageous.
I don't feel that I don't think the 40,000 for him is ridiculous. It's the AdSense part, and then I used to compare it to rappers. Rappers get that just for spitting 45 seconds of a rap.
Yeah.
But they get that, and then you about to have this for the rest of your life. So when he died, you could use this again.
No, you could argue that because when you have an entertainer come perform, you're gonna pay that entertainer $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. How much did that one entertainer that Fat Joe said that lives in Miami? He charges $400,000 to do a show.
No, I literally have an offer right now for Ice Spice and Sexy Red. It's a 6-figure offer from a promoter that I know is willing, so that's understandable. The thing is, the point he's making to Vlad, that's it. I feel why you feel like it wouldn't be fair to get at everybody like that.
I don't put interviews in the same category of entertainment because interviews are supposed to be journalism. And in journalism, you ain't supposed to pay for the information. The information is supposed to come out of the interest of pushing journalism forward.
But you got to realize everything is evolving.
Well, guess how much money the Breakfast Club paid Marlon Wayans to come on there?
Yeah, that's
He
put it in perspective.
He respects
Nothing.
their platform.
They don't pay for interviews on the Breakfast Club.
Cameron and Mace just went on $1 million worth of game. Cameron,
because
he only doing Drink Champs or $1 million worth of game, and he's not charging them.
Let me make this journalism point, because platforms like the Breakfast Club is operating out of the school of journalism. They're not paying for interviews, but maybe Vlad, Nori, if they want to pay, they're gonna pay, because they don't look at themselves as journalists.
No jumper.
They
pay.
But the reality is when you're doing an interview, you're doing journalism, but you're not abiding by the rules of journalism. But Breakfast Club has to abide by the rules of journalism because that's under the corporate umbrella. You know?
I think outside of that, that may be exactly the way it should be. However, they seem to be more of a grassroots urban platform. We didn't see anybody other than this from its inception. Whether the corporate side was involved with that, we saw black people.
Yeah, at Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
So as they established themselves as a staple, we feel more comfortable going on there and looking at them as something that's helping us. Your platform, the average street artist or street member that was trying to get some exposure, change their life, tell their story, you were established. So we felt benefited by coming on your platform. You got platforms popping up every day without no type of resume amongst the community, non-black. Of course, there's going to be a charge element that's going to be immediately apparent.
Yeah, I get it, because most of these platforms aren't operating under the guise of journalism. But and that's unfortunate, because some of these platforms do get big. They don't mind paying. And those platforms that don't want to pay, they're not going to get the same interviews. But, I've gotten interviews from people that have charged on other platforms, even charged on Vlad, I believe, will come on my platform for free.
Munchie and myself charge certain people, and we're willing to appear other places without charging. When Munchie first came in the game and was getting popping, I was telling him, look, you can't go to everywhere without just, and he figured it out quick. But then it's certain people you respect and you see it's more of an even trade for us having a conversation. And in other places you realize I'm more of an asset being here and you really need me here. And this is more of a business transaction with me being here. And it's all respect. It's a thing that's not drawn in black and white, but we figure it out.
All right, let me read DJ Vlad's response to Marlon from the last tweet, where Vlad says, I'm not mad at all. I find it all this amusing because you really think you're worth $40K for an interview. I said, there's nobody on earth that will pay you that, and I've yet to be proven wrong. Throwing out a stupid ass number for an interview is unprofessional, my guy, because your interviews don't even make 5% of that on every platform you do. And bringing up race when there was no mention of it throughout all of our discussions show how weak of a man you really are.
This one, Oprah, Shannon Sharp, supposed to be up offering $50,000 for a Marlon Wayans interview publicly right now.
Hey man, I don't know why you said Oprah.
Just okay.
Oprah, no, for real.
Get on there if you got to, but
you
get my point though.
Right.
Those that got it, that wouldn't mind talking to Marlon Wayans, that would give him less than that, go ahead, give him that and make a point, or don't give it to him and report that we did, y'all.
As much as I don't get along with this dude, Vlad, because he doesn't like me ever since I interviewed him on the Gangster Chronicles back in 2019, I do agree that paying $40 racks for an interview is outside of any normal practice. But I will give an example of somebody that did, and he got caught and he got in trouble. Dr. Phil, operating as a journalist, operating under the rules of journalism, wanted to beat everybody else to this interview. So in order to do it, he had to come out the pocket to do it. And he paid 200 racks for this interview.
Who was that?
It was Octomom.
Oh, that was.
And then
I remember that.
And then when he got caught, he denied that he paid the money. And here's a way you get around it.
So she was hitting the lick off top.
So here's how you get around it. I don't know if Dr. Phil used, I think he used something similar. He said, I didn't pay Octomom $200,000 for the interview. I paid Octomom $200,000 so I could license the photos of her kids, the video footage of her kids, and all the other content that we use with the interview. And that's perfectly legal within the rules of journalism.
I would have did it because she just pushed out all these kids, and they're gonna need the assistance.
But the thing,
200,000 is not gonna last long with how many kids is not.
He said what his lawyer told him to say.
No, but that's usually the way.
That's why they did it, and they did it knowing that they can color it in that fashion.
Look, I've done many interviews for different network documentaries.
Would have went better, for sure.
And when they want to use photos and videos that I have, I can make up to $8,000, $9,000, $10,000. People think I got $12,000 or $10,000 for the interview. I said, no, the interview was free. It's just that they licensed 5 photos. And
is that actual or is that technical creativity to keep everything in place?
Hey, it's hard to answer that, because there are people that will say, okay, you don't want to pay me for the interview? Like, no. Okay, but we want your interview. And they have a conversation saying, all right, well, we'll pay you for X, Y, and Z, which falls within the parameters of pure journalism, just so that you can get the money that you're happy with. So did they pay for that interview? You can say, yeah, they kind of did pay for that interview, but did they find a way to pay him for something else to get that interview? That's what they did.
What's wrong with the motto of compensating the interviewee? If we are aware that you're guaranteed for to turn around, get my free conversation and turn it into thousands upon thousands of dollars for yourself, where does that become a justified practice at all?
Historically, paying for interviews has always led to misinformation. And it's just difficult to trust the words that are coming out of the mouth of someone that's only sitting in that chair and is only sharing the story with you because you paid them.
So if a young lady hits you and said, hey, I'm the victim of a certain public crime that's been reported online a lot. It's me that they talking about. I was there. I'm dying to tell my story.
Yeah.
I can add some clarity to things I've heard you talk about online. And I'm from your hood. I'm from 59 East Coast. But desire some compensation, would you immediately doubt the validity of what they were stating? Or do you just think that they see the overall landscape and everything's moving and they don't want to just miss out on something they believe may be available?
It's harder to trust a person that's saying, I'll tell you everything that I saw, but you got to pay me. And then also, you just turned an interview into a business transaction now. And then now you're going to say, hey, when you need some more information, next time, hit me up. So it's I mean, there's so many examples why journalism has figured out this is not cool for our field. Look at all the lies that Keefe D told on Vlad. Because he got paid whatever, $4,000 or $5,000.
I just know Baby Lane ain't killed Tupac. I've been knowing that since the day Tupac died.
Okay.
Rest in peace, Baby Lane the Loc.
He just completely went left field on it. But on that real quick, we're gonna come back to the to Vlad, DJ Vlad, and Marlon. But on that, you're basically saying somebody else in that car was the shooter, not Lane.
Definitely.
Yeah, and that person is deceased because everybody in that car is deceased except for Keefe D. Yeah. Okay. But regarding this response to Marlon Wayans, I kind of didn't like the way he said this part right here. You bringing up race when there's no mention of it throughout all of our discussions shows how weak of a man you really are. Hey, if a man feels like his race is being questioned or his race is impacted or his race has something to do with it, he has every right to go there.
It's the arrogance of the vulture, not realizing why you're getting this type of response in the first place, because we don't like, or he particularly doesn't appreciate, your dynamic with his race. It was about race when you show interest in nothing but black people throughout your whole career giving interviews. You have an interest in our race. That's obvious, brother.
Yeah, and although I would never pay any amount, I do think $40K is too much. But to respond to the guy saying you throwing out a stupid ass number for an interview, because just as Munchie said, these artists make more than that for less time in many instances.
Right.
I can't remember the name of the rapper that Fat Joe said in Miami. He tried to tell him, hey, I got 100,000 for you to come perform.
He passed it up.
Dude said, hey, Fat Joe, my number's 400.
Eminem turned down 1 point. On reports, I've been fully aware of Eminem turning down 1 point and 2 point for one show multiple times, bro. And it happens.
When I was a student at USC, we used to get this budget to bring artists to the campus. So when I was there in the 90s, I decided, hey, I wanna bring rappers. So we brought Ice Cube. Bro performed 2 songs.
60.
30,000 and 94. 30,000, and this is 94.
That's 300,000 in 94.
94 was 30. We also had what's the group from up Oakland that Pac used to rap with?
Digital Underground.
Digital Underground. I forgot what we paid. I remember we had Ice-T give a lecture. He had a book out. He gave a lecture for 1 hour. We paid him $5,000 just to talk to students for 1 hour. And then Sister Soldier, we paid Sister Soldier $4,000. This is all 94, 93, 94. Remember Sister Soldier?
Yeah, she was the sharpest female. Why we don't have no renditions Where's the Little Sister Soldiers at, bro?
Yeah. Oh, you know who the Little Sister Soldier is?
The coldest winter ever. Midnight.
Is she fine? Erica Lachey?
No, the one that's with the rapper that what's the name of that rapper that he became a nice advocate from New York. He was on Clubhouse, got into a whack once. What's that rapper?
Everybody?
No.
Oh.
Everybody getting to
My son. Okay, my son has a podcast with a sister.
A sister. Oh, I'm not here.
She's the new
the broad, Tamika Mallory. You know what?
She's the new Sister Soldier.
I fell in love with Tamika Mallory's passion and all that. She had gave a speech following one of these murders, and the speech was so moving. I put it up on my channel. It went viral, and about 2 weeks later, I got a copyright strike. I'm like, damn, Tamika.
Yeah, that's some news she want to spread, bro. So
it was like an organic moment at a press conference. She gave a speech at a press conference that turned it to be something like.
She's the one though. Tamika's the one.
Why she charging us for the message?
It could be her team too. You know, she definitely has a team, and they ain't playing. All right, so Marlon Wayans responds to Vlad. So yes, this has become about race. You trying to turn us into crabs in a barrel. I see your angle now. I watched you play your hand. You want us to talk shit, beef, and tear each other down while you sit back and make money. Meanwhile, you don't even show your face.
Adam shows his face while he does that. Hey, my, what's his name again?
Marlon Wayans.
Salute, Brody.
Yeah.
You making a hell of a point in a very space that is very relevant, needs to be made, bro.
All right, Vlad's response was, not only do I show my face, he does sometimes, not during the interviews though, but when I do interviews on the same platforms as you, and I think he's talking about like Breakfast Club and a couple others, here are the actual views when we did the Breakfast Club 1 month apart. You reached your peak 20 years ago, and there's an image I think that I'll have on the screen. You reached your peak 20 years ago and have been on the decline ever since. There's nothing wrong with that. But you seem to think that this is still 2004. I've been dropping facts with actual numbers this entire time, and all you can do is play this lame-ass race card in response. So keep looking in the mirror and lying to yourself about who you think you are. The numbers don't back it up, and it's true. Vlad did an interview on the same platform. I believe it's the Breakfast Club. He got more views than Marlon Wayans did.
Okay, Eminem outsells every black artist from his era. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not even a relevant point to me.
Not at all.
Because it depends on what you're talking about.
Indeed.
If you're talking about something viral.
It's relevant. It's relevant.
Why?
Because he trying to it's the number game. What are you talking about? Like,
but you can't just compare. They both were on the Breakfast Club, and one got more views than the other. It's just like every episode of Straight Politicking ain't gonna get the same views.
But we're not comparing. You're not putting it up to no.
But I compared our episodes to our previous episodes.
Yeah, that's
straight
politicking versus straight politicking.
Yeah,
we're not talking about Vlad versus Marlon Wayans. We talking about two different.
Well, I don't think it's relevant at all that Vlad got more views than Wayans, because we got to look at what was Vlad talking about. What if Vlad was talking about Keefe D in that interview, and Keefe D just got arrested? Boom, that's going to go viral.
You're the most odd, rare member of a certain sector. You're going to stand out more. You're white.
When Vlad just got beat up by Rick Ross in his camp, you know what I'm saying? So didn't they really want to really?
Yeah, but no, he doesn't actually. You know, before every interview, Vlad has do not ask me questions. And one of them is don't ask me about that Rick Ross thing.
See how he bullies our whole community about not being able to ask. He'll ask you prying questions.
And I don't care to put that out there because normally I would never have divulged that. But he's been really disrespectful to me these last couple of years.
He likewise.
Undeservingly.
Likewise.
You know, I have done nothing negative to this guy.
Likewise.
But you want to block? He blocked me on all platforms, and I don't even follow the dude.
Likewise.
You know, I don't even follow the guy.
And I gave him one of his first ghetto passes to these South Central streets, bro.
Oh, yeah, that was in the A-Trade Gangsters.
Oh, my
right?
mama, in the A-Trade Gangsters hood, where I still got the same exact pass where me and Munchie went right after our last episode of Straight Politicking. Same exact address.
So I don't mind saying that he asked not to ask about the Rick Ross, I don't know, what do you call that? The Rick Ross beating?
Beat down, suing,
the beat
telling,
down.
officer work.
Which I respected that, you know, on the interview. But you don't have to, as a journalist, you don't have to respect that. You can be, as a journalist, you're there to ask any question I want to ask.
But this is the only reason he has a staple or a place in hip hop is because he's asked the questions that people don't quite expect him to ask.
Yeah. So hey, here's a little game for the next person to interview Vlad. I will cash app you $500 if you ask him about the Rick Ross beatdown, even though he doesn't want you to ask about it, and then you post that interview. I will cash app you $500.
That'd be a waste of money, bro.
What, you think someone's gonna do it?
No, because the response you go get, so it'd be a waste.
What do you mean?
I'm not gonna talk about that.
No, he's got.
My lawyer advised me not to. It's still in court.
He's gonna give a.
Oh yeah, so that.
No, I will commend the person that asked the question regardless after being told not to ask it.
But you will never get the evidence for 500 because he's gonna say don't release it. I won't sign a release if you do that. If you ask me, so the 500 is not gonna be worth it. We might have to up the number.
No, what do you mean?
Because the interview is probably gonna be unreleasable once they put him on the spot.
And you said after the interview.
Well, here's what you do. I'm gonna give you whoever was willing to do this. I'm gonna give you game. Have your guest Vlad sign the release before the interview. Okay, and then ask the question while cameras are rolling, and then post that interview.
You gotta go on Funny Marco. Get him Funny Marco.
Yeah, but okay. Let me read. We got one more tweet here. There's many tweets. These guys went back and forth for a minute. This is the sixth and last tweet I'm gonna read. This is Marlon Wayans responding back to Vlad. See, Vlad, this is the moment you've been begging for. I've asked you to leave me alone, let it go, but you want to kick a bee's nest. You can't compete with me, bro. I am legend, all caps. And occasionally I come off the throne to spar with peons like you. Keep going. There's levels to this shit.
He talks shit for a living. And before he talked shit for a living, he did it for a living since a kid with big brothers. You don't want to talk shit with Marlon, Vlad, leave it alone.
And then Marlon got to going in on body parts, and I don't like getting into all of that.
What he said, he got a BBL or something?
No, the hair. The hair stuff. I think Marlon posted the number of the grossing of his movies in total. Guess what the number of the total gross of his movies is?
300 million.
1.2 billion with a B. Either 1.2 or 1.3 billion with a B. How you gonna argue with a guy who's grossed over $1 billion for Hollywood?
Because neither does he want, nor does he need the 40,000. He's making a point.
Yeah.
He letting you know what you can't afford. Whether you can afford it, he's letting you know he can outprice himself to you where he's not accessible to you as a black, excellent entrepreneur, entertainer, regardless of what you consider him. You can't afford him, bro. That's the point he was making. Salute to that.
And I kind of feel like other people might fall back from Vlad. Do you think so?
No.
No?
They would have been did it. Everybody been like talking shit about Vlad though. So you know what I'm saying?
It doesn't really last.
All right.
It doesn't chip in like impactful out of nowhere, but I think there are sectors of influential people who have tapped out, and it's not evident immediately, but I think their followings are tapping out.
Lord Jamar tapped out.
I was thinking of him.
Based on he disrespected the
Who else tapped out?
That's somebody like Munchie, Munchie not quite, like a YG, or somebody a little more contemporary that got motion, get into a disrespectful situation with him. I think the more contemporary the person that disagrees with his approach, the less effective and the less influential is a platform.
Godfrey publicly tapped out.
But then Godfrey is only appreciated by people that look just like Godfrey. It's kind of hard to quantify his tapping out, but he's part of it though.
I noticed that Trey D doesn't appear on there anymore, but he hasn't publicly said he tapped out or something happened.
Why would you think someone like BG Knockout Muslim and what he's done toward the minister? Why would you think?
I thought he tapped out, but he just reappeared.
back.
Yeah, he's back. He's back. Yeah. So yeah, I think Munchie's right. People are gonna pick and choose.
That's the problem with our community. We've had a hard time.
We don't stay on code.
There we go.
We don't stay on code.
There we go.
You know, that's unfortunate. And the reason why is because we need that 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, whatever it is. Check this out. I'll tell you a funny story regarding a Vlad interview. Mob James went on Vlad first time in 2019.
That's when he cried.
Did super numbers. Did super numbers for Vlad. And it was like 19 million views total when you cut it up into clips. So Mob James was like, "Dang, that dude didn't give me nothing."
But guess what?
Wait, let me finish the story. Let me finish the story.
Land.
So me, Reggie Wright, and James were doing the podcast at the time. So we agreed, you did your thing on there, James. Don't go back on there. Vlad kept calling James, kept calling him, and James wasn't answering his call. So who does Vlad call up to try to get James to come on the show?
Let me guess.
Police.
You.
He calls me up. He's like, Alex, James is not answering my call. I said, James is not interested in going back on the channel anymore. He said, well, tell him I'll pay him this time. I said, well, how much? 1,000. I'll give him 1,000.
What?
I said, all right, I'll let him know. And so I went to James. I said, James, Vlad hit me up, offered 1,000, but don't take it, please. We're going to stay on code. We're going to do the Gangster Chronicles. We don't need to go on that show. About a week later, I'm watching Vlad, and I see Mob James. He didn't even tell me.
Were you able to confirm what he got paid?
Vlad told me what he was going to pay him.
No, he didn't use you to negotiate. He used nobody to.
I don't know if James negotiated, but James is not a negotiator.
Reggie, if you let Mob James go out like that, Reggie.
So I was a little disappointed because I told James we don't need to go on these platforms to build what we got. But then after I said, James, why'd you go on? He said, I needed the 1,000.
The Thowie.
So,
I'm not knocking.
So here's the thing: whether it's 1,000, 5,000, 7,000, 6,000, us as a culture, us as a group, we always need that money.
Right.
So it's hard to stay on code, and I'm not shitting on James for needing that 1,000 because I need the 1,000 too.
Don't you?
We all need 1,000,
Don't you
right?
proceed the disrespect from Vlad when he's hit that many licks? Give a legend 40, even if you don't make it back. You didn't overkill the culture.
I agree that if you really want the Marlon Wayans interview, it's not about profiting off the interview.
You made it off
It's
the
about
Mob James.
securing this interview,
Thank you.
and now you have it on your platform for years to come.
Thank you.
And even if it only makes 2,000 or 3,000, you got the Marlon Wayans interview. But here's one reason why you don't do it, because Marlon Wayans is gonna go on the next platform for free. And how embarrassing is that you had to pay all of this?
It's only embarrassing when you go public and acknowledge it and make it a thing.
Yeah.
One man's transaction with one man really look. Ice Cube is an artist that can go anywhere and get 6 figures for a verse. He's made it public. I didn't know this was his practice. He's never charged for a feature. I received a verse from Ice Cube that cost me no money. But that does not quantify the value of Ice Cube verse. That's just a practice he fell into.
They do verses out of respect.
Yeah.
I saw you pieced it up with one of Ice Cube's biggest detractors on a nice little.
Oh man, shout out Cam, West Coast Cam. What's up, man? Yeah, that's really my first personal G homie in this rap street shit. You know, he's from Watts in the Front Street area, basically very close to my area. So I was able to realize Cam as being a rap artist that I see on videos and see him in real life before anyone, him and Solo for me, Love Mate, the homie. So not only was I up on him as a youngster, years after that, getting out of prison, he put me on my first album. So I always respected Cam.
What year was that?
Like 1999, 2000.
Wow.
And the record he put me on, not only was I on the record with him, Jail Felony, Drace to the Gangster, Yuck Mouth, and another like West Coast person. I had got like 5 and 1 on my first record. So I've always respected Cam. And then when Nipsey died, rest in peace to the Crib, I went to the funeral and Farrakhan shared some things, 666, and he tried to be like, make a parable and be metaphorical with the 60s and connect the 666 in the Bible with the rolling 60s. And it didn't quite fly with me. Being raised as a Protestant in private school, being familiar with the Bible and the doctrine behind 666, I saw some inconsistencies with what Farrakhan said. But instead of me going home and getting online and saying that, I was loaded and I was like, said some shit that was really disrespectful toward him personally. And my big brother Cam took issue with that. And I guess that was 2019. So what is this? 04? It's been 5 years.
2024.
2024. It's been 5 years of us. I mean, we've had a solid communication, all love, respect, nothing for 20 years or better. And then after I spoke ill of the minister for the last 5 years, Cam shifted up on me, ice cold, didn't give a fuck. It's a new understanding. And I accepted it. Didn't appreciate it. I accepted it, though. So I just stumbled on YouTube, saw him going live, took it upon myself to just request to be on the live. He accepted it in real time. He had the same attitude he had last time I spoke to him. He looking at me like he didn't give a fuck what I had to say. But when I came humble and, approached him, he received it. And now we back to where we started at, man. That's really with this hip hop shit, that's my most original G homie. Cuz from the East Side 90s, like the hundreds, like right off of Central and Avalon, right?
Central and Century.
Yeah, and he had the cold vocabulary. He was the only person I viewed lyrically as competition for Ice Cube back in the day. I had no idea why their situation went bad back then, but I always thought that they was gonna be like a dynamic duo with this shit. Yeah, shout out to Cam. Love you, big bro.
Well, it was good to see that you guys had a grown man conversation. All right, so let's move on to. Well, the last thing I want to say is that if you want to pay for interviews like Vlad wants to pay, sometimes you're going to have to pay over your budget. That's just what it is. You opened up this door to paying for interviews, and not every interview that you pay for is about profiting. You're not always going to be able to pay someone like Mob James $1,000 and then make 5, 6, 7 off of it. Sometimes you're going to have to take the L, but at least you secured the interview.
And your overall, it's not an L. You're building the profile of your platform. There's going to be another high-profile artist that would do it for less just because they saw Marlon do it. But now you divulged all the back end, you're going to make everybody more interested in the bottom line than they were initially.
Yeah, but if he does pay that $40,000, this is the problem with that. That's why I'm just so against this. Then the next comedian is going to say $40,000 or $30,000, and it's going to open up the door to more issues.
To be honest, but he came with that energy because you could tell it was out of spite that he threw the number out there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So so to be optimistic and be fair, you know where the energy came from and the tweets and you know what I'm saying?
And just think, big bro has been dealing with bringing black content as a producer to white studios and probably being lowballed. They've been dealing with this for the longest. With the Foxes and the bigger networks.
No, I'm saying his energy.
No, I agree with you 100%.
Okay, yeah.
I bet you he watches Brother Keenan do other people this way on a way larger scale.
All right, let's move on to the Piru Walk for Peace down Rosecrans in the city of, well, we got to say Compton for this one.
I'm not allowed to say Compton.
You just said it. Led by YG and The Game, and I think what's very historical.
Was it led by The Game or did Game pull up?
Well, I would say led by YG, and The Game was right there by his side.
Yeah, the flyer was promoted YG.
Yeah,
okay.
It was a YG event. Game was right there by his side, and I'm not going to take that away from Game. He was there.
Okay,
I'm glad. I was glad to see Game there, bro.
I will say those are the two biggest names there for sure. Mm-hmm. But there were what's so monumental and historical about that is that Treetops and Fruittown Pyrus were there together. And, they got their beef started in 93. And that's probably one of the longest standing blood. I want to say blood. I know they're Pyrus, but on the red side,
Damu.
The longest standing Damu conflict that had existed in our county.
You said the what year?
93. In fact, I'll give you the date because I have the, I believe.
31 years?
I believe I know the
31 flavors. It's up here.
30 plus years for sure. What do you think? What do you got to say about this beautiful walk for peace?
It's a beautiful thing to me.
A beautiful thing. You said it's a beautiful thing.
It ain't only them. Then it's the Compton NHPs and the Treetops. Also, they squash. You know what I'm saying?
That's big for black people, period. I'm not all into y'all, details, but once I see black people that was at odds trying to do something different, I salute it, support it.
No, yeah, same here. I'm
going to say it started on February of 1993.
Damn.
With the death of a guy named Travion Logan.
Damn.
He probably related to my homies.
He's from Travion Logan from Treetop Power.
That wasn't out of Louisiana, though, was it?
Oh, I don't remember. This was 93. I
graduated high school in 93.
You know the roots and the families over in my area, Inglewood, the Logan family.
Yeah.
They probably related.
The homeboy just married a Logan.
Yeah. That's the big homegirl.
Logan, Hogan, Rogan.
Baby Trey K just married. What's the Logan that he married?
TL.
Okay, he just married her.
Yeah.
And congrats to them because I know that Baby Trey K's in his early 50s. And, it's not easy being in your 50s trying to start a marriage.
Not at all.
And how old is Miss Logan?
They around the same
They're
ballpark.
about the same age. Okay, congrats to
yeah.
them. So I don't know if Travion Logan, do they got ties to Compton too? The Logan family?
I don't know.
Okay.
knows?
After this, we go figure it out.
But yeah, this is a beef that started in '93. We're in 2024. That's 31 years, man.
I graduated high school 31 years ago. That's crazy as fuck.
Did you go to your 30th reunion?
I didn't go to the 10th, 20th, or 30th.
Okay. But I mean, gosh, you guys are kind of quiet on this. This is like historical, monumental. This is you don't see too many of these type of.
No.
I said it's a beautiful thing.
No.
I was happy to see game there.
No. It's big. No. It's big. It's more work to do. It's big though.
So this was in general Piru statement. We coming together for the overall. Was the biggest Piru online there present? Anybody know?
What was the biggest Piru?
The most popular vocal,
Oh.
visible Piru.
Okay, because you real punctual.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it right. I'm gonna get it right. You know the.
Well, I'll tell you this.
He's not the biggest Piru.
Ayatollah Marv was there, and he's pretty popping
Shout out to the
online.
homie Moore.
He's the elder Piru.
He's the oldest living Piru. Marv was there. Wally the Sensei was there. Is he tapped in with the Pirus?
Definitely.
Wally from West Side.
I didn't know that.
I got his line right here.
He don't rap like that.
We got to get. I know he doesn't do gang rap.
No, go get Wally up here. I'll holler at him.
So Wally the Sensei was there.
Yeah, he from the West.
Of
Shout out Wally on Inglewood.
Who else was there? I saw Wacko. I saw Wacko
J
there.
was there.
I saw John T. John T was there.
Shout out Wacko from the Dose. Oh yeah, shout out John T. He was in the Bounty Jail with me, Fruitless.
But there was a guy that was absent. Spider,
Who was that?
Oh, no, honey.
Now that you think about it, of all the Pirus that
Look, to the rest of the world, I'm not talking to LA County, not talking to California. Anybody from around these state cities who's trying to figure out where old boy fit in, YG, the youngest popular, influential Piru, just made a call in peace and respect to all Pirus / Damus to pull up and let's function. And if this nigga was anything as he claimed to be, there's no way you're not supposed to be there, bro. On my mama.
I felt bad that I wasn't there. I wanted to pull up, but I was doing my family thing.
I just say, if you push Piru as hard as you, because he don't even say 2 P's in the beat. Like
Right.
If somebody asks where you from, I'm Piru, straight across the board. So I feel, Whack, you should have been there. You Piru. You say you walked 9 prison yards for this. You did X, Y, and you didn't put your life on the line for this P thing. I think you should have been there just to promote peace amongst the P folk. I mean, I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? But
I know you say it's all the same, but you ain't a Piru, respectfully.
I'm a blood brim and Piru. But if I'm just saying somebody that speak how he speak and he put the P first, I believe he should have been there. You know what I'm saying?
Likewise, and I'm not saying that disrespectfully.
Maybe he had
Other obligations?
other obligations. Maybe so. But as hard as he pushed this P thing, from Pacoima to Bompton to bro, I just think he should have been
So
there.
you being a representative of the B team,
Right.
you believe, just with your general understanding, he would be received, welcomed with loving arms, or do you think it'd be a questionable thing for
I
him to
just
even
feel
try?
if you doing the they was walking on some P shit as far as Piru go, but you facilitated a DP with Snoopy Badass getting beat up by 4
There
West
you
Sides.
go.
I mean, I just feel like you should be on both sides of the end of this. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? It's Piru across the board. The homies getting along. That's something you should be there for. I mean, that's just how I feel.
If the position that he claimed to have is valid, I would agree with you, bro. It's just like, how do you miss that unless your daughter was graduating, your mother was sick, your child? How do you miss that?
Plus,
bro?
his folks was there. I saw John T was there, and I saw the game was there.
Shout out to the game, man. Shout out to Magic from 88 Avalon for the reason I can even say shout out to the game right now. I'm glad to see game there on my mama.
But John T don't talk. He not ruffling.
That's why I don't speak his name, because he don't talk. I don't talk about it.
He don't ruffle feathers. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference.
I know both of y'all got a rapport with John T. That's why I'd never even speak on that element.
No, John T, he's solid. I don't like that he stand aside him. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't none of my business. But John T solid. You know what I'm saying? And then I know him from the streets. You and then on the jail. You know what I'm saying? He solid. So, but I just,
Plus, here's my opinion on this. Even though Wack may have ruffled the feathers of quite a few Pirus, if he would have showed up, I don't think anything would have happened to him.
But you can't tell that.
Game is there. John
I disagree. Game. What do you mean game was there? What would that matter?
Game as a rapper, as an artist, gets a lot of respect from the Pirus.
Game couldn't. That don't matter.
I think he's saying
that don't matter, bro.
I don't think Game would have attempted to force that to be extended toward Wack.
Game wouldn't have gotten intertwined with his politics. It wouldn't have happened, bro.
You said it off a hunch or off a
off of knowledge. But I gave one example before, and people from that community didn't like that I got that example because they don't play the internet. So I ain't gonna get at a particular example.
I'm familiar.
You know what I mean? Okay, then when Kanye was performing at a Game show, and then what happened with the '60s and all that, me being Game, I would have hopped off stage, or even after that, Game party with the Rolling '60s after that. So I mean, if you not doing that with the opposites, which is the Crips, why would he intervene with some Pyros?
So what do you say about a nigga like Hold On 100 that went through that with Game, but then we see recently he on Pedo Busters throwing pies with him and all that?
I don't get it.
They just went viral.
I don't get your vernacular with that one, bro.
People that be trying to meet minors online.
Oh, okay, yeah. YG just did that.
But YG, but then
Dummy Baby Dot did it with him.
Okay.
They was getting up on a little pedophile.
Game and Hold On 100 did one.
Okay.
But knowing like what you just said about the concert and the way all that played out,
right?
Why is Hold On 100 so comfortable still be up under Game when he can be?
Because it's a business.
They got some contractual obligation or something.
No, it's the business. The same way, the same reason why stump down homies that I have no smut into the general public as far as the Bloods go, they good homies. They still stand by him, although Wack do faulty things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's all monetary. That's what I believe. You know what I mean? But everybody go follow my YouTube channel. It's Morals Over Money 92, and I stand on that. That's just me.
Okay. I don't think I got anything else to say, but it's great to see.
No, it's a good thing, but
unity. That unity was incredible.
But the next thing,
I love it.
It ain't no difference with me though. It's all the same. But next thing we gotta do the blood walk. We need the villas. We need the villas and the Pueblos.
When y'all hear them say that, y'all know when we talking about walking, the most normal, natural thing to hear is the Crip walk. So if they gonna do all that, y'all, Keyway Nation, holla.
The Compton Crips need to figure out how do they get to the same.
No, this should be motivation for the 2 C's though.
Yeah,
it's not gonna happen.
But this gonna be a little bit the Compton Crips.
It's not gonna happen this year.
If I'm out of bounds speaking on it, but I'm just a nigga from the nosebleeds. It'd be a little bit more difficult.
Well, Munchie, can I be a Los Angeles Loc and a Compton Crip? And I will speak on it.
Go ahead.
It's not happening this year for the Compton
Crips.
Crip.
There's so many different conflicts between the Crips and Compton.
Yeah, 2024 won't be the year.
With the Pirus, you just had the Treetops, the Fruit Towns. What was the other conflict you mentioned?
Treetop and NHP.
But you know what? I'm not sure what the presence of the mobs and the looters was during this walk.
I'm not sure either, but it's gonna take a little bit more.
Yeah.
But so you saying that Treetop Fruit Town shit was more original than the mob looters split?
The mob looters is more recent. That started in 2004.
Oh, okay.
But it's
the
more.
Treetop Fruit Town started in the 90s.
I don't remember that being that long. That's deep.
Man, I don't either. But they say that date though. But I moved to Compton in my earlier years, and I remember Treetops and Fruit Towns intermingling. But I don't never challenge it because I'm not Fruit Town or Treetop when I hear it. You know what I'm saying?
I thought it happened later, but I'm not here to debate that either.
Listen, I lived in the Fruit Towns on the street where Fruit Towns at, and Slim 400 walked down my street every day to go sit on the girl's porch next door to my house and wait till they came outside.
You know, Slim was way more of a politician than he was like a banger. I found him in Op Hood like hanging with Crips.
No.
Regularly.
And that's how I know a few track news because of
shout out Russ, Park Bow, the main two.
And shout out Russ and Brandy. I don't know Brandy Hood name. You know what I'm saying? But me and Brandy good people was like
track new?
Yeah, like I met like a few track new females, Russ, you know what I'm saying? Like Yeah, messing with my
Yeah, Russ turned me on to Slim early.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
I was in the county jail with Russ. Russ slept right next door. Right next. He the bunk next to me. Like Russ, my good
Stay
people.
on Spruce.
Hey,
Track New Crib.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% certain that the Treetop Fruitown Piru beef is consecutively from that 93 incident.
I believe it.
It might have been kind of on and off, and then it got to a point where it was just on.
Okay, makes sense.
We'll have to. I'll definitely fact check that for the Straight Politicking listeners next week. I do know that Logan homicide in '93 was related to it.
I'm gonna say.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Shout
out Big Bootaroo and my nigga King Troop from Treetop too. Much love to my niggas.
Yeah, free Troop.
And you mentioned another Piru that were there, the neighborhood Pirus, and
shout out Low Key and Joker from neighborhood Piru.
Munchie?
Oh yeah. The bump the NHPs and the Treetops. They ended they feud also, and I spoke on the phone. I ain't gonna say his name. He got life right now, and his brother. He from Treetop. His brother got killed in the war. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I spoke to him, and I didn't know that's how it started. You know what I'm saying? I was hollering at him. You know what I'm saying? Through some homies and stuff, but
he appreciate the peace too. Still, the niggas that's
I haven't talked to him since then, but I would like to, and I'm gonna make it my thing to talk to him. I want to hear how he feel about it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, some people got the forgiveness in their heart.
Well, it's gonna take a little bit more effort to get the Crips to kind of in Compton to unite.
But some time. It's gonna have to time.
I would say start. And this would be hard, and we ain't gonna do that skip spot because we not go. Don't shoot my homie Skip by accident with this. You know what I'm saying? I would say ATF, Nutty Block first.
Not gonna happen.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Everybody always say that.
There's two G niggas from Southside in Santana that sat down recently online. I saw it. My nigga, damn, I know Cuz too, from my cousin Stay Slow. I can't believe I ain't missing your name. You know I know you, but it's an OG nigga from Southside. Sat down with a G nigga from Santana.
I ran across that on YouTube. I didn't click on it.
But I can't believe that the homie from South name is skipping my mind. I know him real good. He a money having, business having nigga, but he sat down and and I've been knowing him for years. It's just skipping my mind.
But even if you start from the bottom, it'd be cool, man. I wouldn't even call this the bottom, but man, Park Village and Santana. You know, so let the Y'all gang and my locks, they holler. Get their thing rectified, and then go from there. You know what I'm saying?
Since we online, as we speaking about that, the only person I know to acknowledge, Baby Gangster. We saying this out of respect. You a G homie. We would love to hear your thoughts on how you think this shit's supposed to go, or if that's even possible with y'all in the South. I see.
Oh, you know he's with it.
Original CC Rider.
Yeah, my mama.
Yeah, and Skip Townsend actually was there, and he got some great content of that walk.
He got like 200,000 views in less than 24 hours.
Yeah. So if you want to see some great footage of that walk down Rosecrans, tap in with Skip Townsend's YouTube channel. All right, let's move on to Nicki Minaj, man. I wanted to talk about this Nicki Minaj lawsuit that she won. And she won this last year, but I think it kind of lingered on to some other legal issues, and she won that too. Oh, she won the lawsuit, but then she wanted the blogger to do a retraction. She didn't want to do the retraction, so she won it. So now the blogger has to do the retraction.
On what? What blogger? About what?
Okay, let me read this to you. Nicki Minaj has reportedly scored a major victory in a settlement with a blogger who accused her of serious misbehavior. And let me throw this in. This is all on YouTube. This is YouTube stuff by this blogger. Nicki Minaj settled her suit against a blogger named Marley, quote, Nosy Ho, unquote, Green. She goes by Nosy Ho on YouTube, and Ho is spelled
H-E-A-U-X.
Hey, you beat me to it. H-E-A-U-X. I guess that's so that you don't get dinged by the copyright stuff or all that inappropriate language, right? Isn't that a unique way to spell hoe?
I don't know why that was going to be said. I knew it.
Okay, so Nosy Ho, Noseyheaux, a blogger who posted a video about Nicki back in September 22 claiming that she was a cokehead. All right, and it continues here. The terms of the settlement include Nosy Ho admitting that everything she said about the pink print rapper, Nicki Minaj, and cocaine was untrue, and that she had no evidence for her claims.
That's it?
In addition, Nosy Ho cannot say another thing about Nicki and cocaine or her child, or even retweet comments about the rapper doing anything illegal. Each violation will reportedly cost Nosy Ho 50 racks. Green, Nosy Ho posted her original comments, for which she has now admitted she had no evidence in a September 2022 video. Nicki, quote, Nicki is shoving all this cocaine up her nose, she said allegedly. Thank you, allegedly. But we all know it's true. Listen, I can't even say allegedly with that because we all know it's true. I'm not saying allegedly on that. Nicki Minaj is a cokehead. So can you believe something as simple as that, which we hear about us all the time on the internet, got Nicki to saying, you know what, I'm taking you to court, and she won the case.
So if a millionaire was online for the last 6-7 years, swearing up and down, I attended an event that I wasn't at, claiming they had a conversation with me that they cannot substantiate, that never took place, you think I might got legal action?
Was it damaging?
Damaging,
Yeah.
definitely damaging.
Yeah, definitely. You just got to go through the motions with all that civil.
I'm going to be inquiring your legal expertise off camera later on. I want to run through some points with you, Alex, please.
Let me just read the last part of this. In response, Nicki Minaj tweeted a portion of an article. Wait. Let me see here. When this case is over, she will no longer be permitted to use my name. To use the name. Oh, she said she's not gonna be able to use the name Nosy Ho because we will take her trademark from her when she does not have enough money to pay the judgment.
Nicki, you beating up. That's bully shit. She gonna change the name slightly. It doesn't matter.
Anyone else who spreads lies about Nicki will suffer the same fate. My marching orders are to aggressively sue anyone with a media or social media following who damages her with intentional lies. Nicki Minaj insisted Nosy Ho was a nobody in the court documents, and attorney Bernstein pointed out the cokehead video garnered more than 2,000 likes and more than 250 retweets on Twitter. So that's the damage.
That's it?
Yeah, I know it's not a lot, right? She does have I did go to Nosy Ho's YouTube channel, and it's a small channel. I think she's got about 25 to 30,000 subscribers. Minaj's suit for defamation was originally asking for $75,000. So she pretty much came for Nosy Ho, a very small YouTube blogger, and put her in her place.
It makes me think Nicki Minaj has found herself on a level she doesn't quite deserve. Because if you could look that low and be that petty about someone that small on the actual motherfucking totem pole, you might not be as deserving of the exaltation that you receive. But it also reminds me of Cardi B and Tasha K.
Yeah, but let me disagree with Spider because even though Nosy Ho had a small platform, let's say 30,000, someone that's retweeting it might have 100,000, might have 500,000. It's you go to the source, and it just so happens the source was a small channel. You know how all this stuff gets reclipped, retweeted, reposted? That's the damage. So you got to come out. Even if a person with 1,000 subscribers said Spider did X, Y, and Z, you can't just say, oh, he only got 1,000. Ain't nothing. What if he gets clipped? What if he gets reposted?
So if someone lied on me online, and I went on a campaign for quite a few years to disrespect them because of that lie, you wouldn't think that would be petty, huh?
I don't think it's petty at all.
Oh, thank you, sir.
It's defamation.
Thank you, sir.
Defamation can never be petty.
Thank you, sir.
Right, Munch?
Right, Munch?
No, defamation. Look, I'm gonna tell you. No. Listen, he put an emphasis on right Munch, right? Because it's something particular.
Everybody know what I'm doing that know.
But yeah, his shit is particular. But do your big one, and I wish you well on that shit. I'm gonna tell you this. Cause I'm about, and I think people will be mad at me after what I got brewing, and cause they ain't about to play with my name like that. And I let it go on for a minute, and it's probably good because I let it build up, and it was great. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody that's suing War Star.
I know I'm
Yeah.
I'm not worried about what
feel
nobody
me?
think, bro. All that, I don't send nobody.
You fight fire with fire.
Come
Hot
on, bro.
fire.
I done been shot on 6 different occasions. Ain't nobody ever been in jail because of me. You know what I'm saying? So, I'll sue the motherfucking whatever y'all wear off you.
And I think we gotta separate civil lawsuits and civil cases from any allegations of snitching. I don't believe civil cases come under the umbrella of that type of terminology.
But what I got brewing, they gonna probably be, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Munchie, but I don't care though. Now that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? I know. You know what I'm saying? And the people that's important know what's the deal with me, but watch what I do, because people play with my name, and where it stem from, go pay.
Defamation is a crime. Even though defamation is a crime, it's not punishable by prison. It's only punishable civilly. if I think I got that right. When you defame someone's name, it's not punishable by prison.
But it's not even. It's civilly adverse to the individual. It's not necessarily criminal. Civilly, you have.
It's against the law.
Yeah,
to
but
defame someone's against the law. Therefore, it's a crime.
The civil law and criminal law is two different laws.
Yeah.
So you're civilly in violation.
Yeah, defamation probably falls under definitely non-criminal conduct.
Civil, definitely.
But it's against the law.
And I ain't deserving.
But if it's against the law, it's a crime. Still,
it is.
I'm just saying that.
But it's civil law to violate civil law doesn't make you a criminal.
Well, the question is defamation a crime? What do you think?
No.
A crime is anything against the law. So you actually
No, the criminal law. Criminal law.
And you know what? Each state is different. It says here, defamation is not a criminal offense in California. It is a crime in 23 other states.
But
I definitely hold on.
You got to remember, we live under 50 different governments.
You said defamation is not a
defamation. I'm looking it up right now on a legal website. Slander and defamation is the same thing.
But see, the thing is this: being a civil violation doesn't make it a crime. Crime are criminal elements.
So basically, you're not going to go to jail for slandering or defaming someone in California.
Okay, I heard
but in
you
these
wrong.
23 other states,
and it doesn't count against your record either. Even if you get probation, it's no criminal.
Yeah.
Okay, when you said crime, you talking about on the criminal side. My bad, I
Yes.
misunderstood.
But in 23 other states, you can go to jail for defaming someone's name.
It's the difference between being civilly and criminally illegal.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Things can be illegal.
Okay, E40.
I'm asking the expert, Alex.
Well,
I'm asking, is there a difference between criminal and civilly illegal? They both can be illegal, but one of them is criminal and civil.
Yeah, in California, there is a distinction between defamation is considered non-criminal in California, but in other states it's criminal.
Shout out to E40, but I don't think he can fuck with me with this shit much.
Hey, but guess what? This is California. This Hollywood. So if defamation was on some criminal shit, everybody be in jail.
Yeah, it's not.
This Hollywood.
Yeah, but I'm sure in these 23 other states, I don't know how many people going to jail for. I haven't. Have you ever watched the news and heard such and such just got sentenced to X number of months or years in prison for defamation?
We don't even look out for that type of shit.
The biggest shit we ever heard was Tasha K and Cardi B.
Yeah.
What state is Tasha K in?
That's in New York State. So
Do Tasha K got ass? I know I'm off subject.
She
My
got some
bad.
big old titties and some pretty teeth. I don't know if they really not.
all right.
All right.
So I brought up this Nicki Minaj case because we're in an era on YouTube where a lot of content creators are running up views by defaming people, by lying on people,
Right.
by telling mistruths.
They call it content.
I've been a victim.
And I'm gonna say this right now on my channel: I have never defamed any individual ever. No, I have never lied on any individual on street TV.
Either.
Could we get the definition of defame?
Lied.
Lying on them.
Because we have
Negatively
somebody
lying.
that be like, oh, he did. Come on, bro.
Speaking negatively on someone undeservingly.
Yeah, there are no lies on street TV, and I got a great resume. So, and all the information is on there for you to look. Go back. You can go look at the whole catalog going back to the late 90s, and there are no lies on street TV. But some of the people that have been reacting to some of the content, they've been lying on their channels, you know? So I think at some point in the very near future, I might slap a defamation lawsuit on one or two creators,
Man, I'm out to.
quote unquote creators.
I'm going to need your assistance in doing so, especially to react to a Father's Day announcement I got this year that really just blew my mind. I respond. I saw a certain guy sent me a text. It looked like a card, a thing, a gift. It said, Happy Father's Day. I responded, like, what the fuck? Happy Father's Day. And to come to find out it was a feeble attempt to do some bullshit copyright shit. So I want to talk to you about that.
All right, man. Let's move on to our last topic, Blacc Sam. Now, Blacc Sam recently gave an incredible interview to Big Boy. And about an hour into it, Big Boy asked him about what happened to Nip in that parking lot.
I just realized Nippy is gone. How long he been gone?
Yeah.
5 years.
No, I'm falling from this wall. My bad.
The interview that Big Boy and Blacc Sam did, it kind of reignited a lot of the conspiracy theorists that kind of went away after Eric Holder was found guilty back in 2022. Now, let's keep in mind, Nipsey was killed in 2019. That's
5 years.
5 years. It's been 5 years. Blacc Sam gives the interview, and now there's just so many people reacting to this interview. In fact, we got 2 clips of this interview. Let's play clip number 1.
Throw it all away, you know. At some point, do you feel like any of this is worth it, or were you ready to throw it all away?
Oh, no, man. Not 100%, like, crash out, broad daylight, whoever. And, you know, we start figuring out who the streets was saying it was, and, you know, that's what the whole unit was like, where's this nigga at? And, you know, that was the mind space at that point.
Yeah. Aside
from just dealing with, you know, the reality, you know, but it was go time, man. And, you know, they're gonna make sure the kids is good, make sure his kids is good, and make sure we keep going.
Is it as random as what the public thought it was? Like, Nip seen somebody, Eric, and talked, and...
I mean, you know, he already got convicted, so for me, without going into too many details, somebody come to the shop. They know we in the doorway. When Hussle pull up, we in the doorway. You gonna see me with a hoodie on, and I got a pistol on me. You gonna see one of the team members in the hoodie in the doorway with a pistol. That's protocol when Hussle pull up. So it's Sunday. It's busy in there. Why the in there didn't follow the protocol? I wasn't there. Why they didn't follow it? Maybe they was fucking around helping the customer, doing some fucking customer service. This is what I'm thinking, trying to, you know, transition into some legitimate just selling clothes. But nobody was in the doorway. And from my understanding, old boy walked up with no shirt on first to check the scene, because he know what's going on in that parking lot. And had a conversation, probably seen nobody was in the doorways, checked Hussle, had on shorts, checked everybody else, left. They say came back with a red shirt on, tiptoed through the alley, and went right and started shooting. So to me, that's premeditated. Number one, there's no red shirts in the hood. You can't buy no red shirt. No liquor store sell no red shirt. Number two, when a nigga come through the alley with a red shirt, that's the throw off, or the Bloods did it, or the Inglewood families did it, or the BPS. That's the throw off, red shirt. So for me, he felt he was supposed to do a job, or somebody sent him or whatever, and he was nervous. He was supposed to hit that alley with that red shirt immediately, but he didn't do that. He came in and he wanted to check the scene. He wanted to make sure he wasn't getting into a shootout. And that's my thoughts on it.
All right, man. There's a lot there.
Big boy got some big ass hands. Go ahead.
There's a lot there that Blacc Sam got the conspiracy theorist thinking. First and foremost, he is alluding that somebody sent Nipsey there. And with all due respect to Blacc Sam and the family, this case has been investigated like no other case can be investigated. We're talking about cell phone records, communications, search warrants, seizing cars, everything.
In connection to a crime that happened on camera. Go ahead.
Yeah, to a crime that was caught on camera from beginning to the end. So here's the thing. I'm going to disagree that anybody sent them for a variety of reasons. First and foremost, who knew that Nipsey was going to pull up at that shop in the first place? At that time, he pulled up at, let's say, 2:50 p.m. on that Sunday. So if you think someone sent them there, well then the list is short of how many people knew Nipsey was going to pull up there at 2:50. And from all the testimony and from all the evidence, very few people, if anyone, knew Nipsey was going to be there at 2:50 p.m. He pulls up when he wants to pull up. Now, I do believe maybe Rimpaw was in that parking lot waiting. It looks like Rimpaw, maybe Nipsey and Rimpaw had a rapport. So now you saying, if you believe that he was set up, then you believe Cowboy's part of the setup. You believe Rimpaw's part of the setup.
And boy sends it there.
And there's no evidence whatsoever that there is a link between any of these people and a conspiracy to kill Nipsey. That's the first thing I'll say. Blacc Sam said, and he just glossed over this, they had a conversation, and then he just continued talking. That conversation is crucial. That conversation is critical. That conversation changed the whole tone, the body language, the demeanor.
If he was not sent.
If he was not sent. That conversation led to Eric going to the car, loading an unloaded gun. So who's sent to do a homicide and the gun is unloaded? He's loading the gun in front of Bernita Nicholson, who's the driver. And she's like, what the hell are you doing? And he's just sitting there loading up a semi-automatic weapon. The fact that he's loading up a gun at the scene of the crime that is about to become a crime scene is very indicative of not being sent. But what you got to say?
After the argument or the initial?
It's after the argument. After the argument. He had one revolver on him the whole time in his front pocket. But the one that did all the damage was the semi-automatic weapon that he was loading.
He unloaded that after the first interaction.
Wait, say that again?
He loaded up after their initial.
Correct. He went to the car. Okay, he has the conversation with Nip. Then he goes to Master Burger to get the food. Then he jumps in the car with Bernita, and then they park in the alley to eat the food. And while he's there, he's loading up the semi-automatic weapon. Those are all facts. Let's deal with the facts.
I think you're forgetting it. When he got out the car, he put his foot on top of the car, and then did he?
What do you mean?
He got out the car in the alley and put his foot on top of the car.
The hood?
The top of the car, like the chili cheese fries, whatever he ordered.
Oh, it's food, not his foot.
Oh, yeah, the food, not the foot. You're confusing me.
Yeah, I thought you said foot.
My bad, excuse me. But he put his foot on top of the car and then proceeded to do what he did. So, like, that was just like,
It makes you think he was deciding at that time what I should do, and it was impulsive.
Nah, it's just right on schedule with a person that's off.
I think when you look at him in the Master Burger after the conversation with Nip, you see Eric Holder
pacing,
contemplating and pacing, and you could tell there's something heavy on his mind. It's that conversation that Blacc Sam just kind of just skipped over. They had a conversation, and that was it that Sam addressed regarding the conversation. But I think the conversation is bigger than what he's talking about. And then also the girl testified, Bernita Nicholson, that the conversation was not friendly. This was not a friendly conversation, everybody. You know, Cowboy wants to say it was a conversation where there was no issue. It was a friendly conversation. Well, why is Bernita Nicholson saying they're calling each other snitch and there was tension and it was unpleasant?
No, honestly, when I heard it back, when I heard her interrogation, it was more aggressive coming from Eric Holder than Nipsey. Just like Cowboy said, though, I ain't gonna cap, because the grand jury was kind of different, the statement, but different from when I heard her like talking, her audio.
Yeah, but unfortunately, they only released like a minute of that audio.
But she said that Nipsey was just more dismissive, like he don't want to talk to him, and he was more so like, well, ain't you a snitch? The aggression more so came from him.
Can I add?
Which I was like, and now like that's kind of different from what I thought I heard like maybe whatever amount of years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because initially it was Nipsey was calling him a snitch.
Right.
And now turns out they were both calling each other snitch. But what was you gonna say, Spider?
I just want to add that initially from the streets, direct communication. Rest in peace to the homie neighborhood Nip the Crip. But I heard more than just asking about it. I heard he kind of went big and told everybody else, like in the store, his money ain't no good over here till he straighten his shit out, and kind of like went big on the boy.
I think you're absolutely right, Spider, because when you look at if you zoom in your editing software, there's a lot of body language from Nipsey, arms moving, a lot of pointing is aggression. Mm-hmm. And I could tell you, I've had an aggressive conversation with Nip. I've been there with Nip before, and I was like, I seen that side.
Me too.
Okay, you too. Yeah.
Yes.
And I've seen that side after 2011.
I gained the respect for him when he did it because he assumed that he could get away with it when I didn't know if he knew he could, and we kind of bonded after we had that bump of heads that time. I respected it. Rest in peace, Puto. Rest in peace, Nipsey. Goddamn.
See, I got caught up in the middle of the situation between him and Big U in 2011 because prior to that situation, I was friends with both of them. But after 2011, you had to pick a side.
So at 2019, from your personal experience, had they graduated beyond that?
I believe they mended all issues. Now, if you think Big U has something to do with it, 2011 was 8 years prior to this. So you think Big U was holding a grudge for 8? He waited 8 years to do, as Munchie would say, his big one. 8 years later, but nah. You guys are leaving out him on the yacht with Nipsey.
In New York.
In New York with Nipsey. Giving Nipsey an award, and Nipsey's there like smiling as big as you can smile, cheesing, getting an award. Everybody leaves all of this stuff out. Right.
From a personal perspective, when Nipsey died, I and Nipsey had some very intense conversations regarding the YG and Big Bootaroo from Treetop. And when Nipsey passed, I talked to Big U very shortly thereafter, and I was surprised to find out Big U knew everything that me and Nipsey had been talking about in that recent time. So I'm aware that Nipsey and Big U was having an amicable conversation and dialogue, and Nipsey was sharing things with him that he was dealing with in politics because there was no other way for Big U to be aware of that.
And I think it's completely natural and normal in these environments that we grow up in where bros are going to clash. And they clashed in 2011. There's no doubt about it. In 2011, they clashed. But what does that got to do with what happened with Eric Holder in 2019, 8 years later?
But the only thing I missed that was key, that I just heard right now that I missed when I was listening to the Big Boy interview, he said he was, he alluded to Eric Holder being nervous, and that's why he came the first time with his shirt off. Then he came with the red shirt on. What he did throughout like with the alley and the red shirt, that's what he's supposed to do from the gate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't really catch that the first time. You know what I'm saying?
But you know, the Marathon store and the Slauson Swap Meet and a lot of surrounding venues or places sell red shirts. So much as I wanted to just accept.
But he was saying liquor stores. You know, liquor stores only sell white and black shirts.
He didn't use the word liquor at all.
He did.
No, I think he did.
He said liquor stores.
I think he did say liquor store.
He
So
said
the point still is
but
as
he said
invalid.
around here, don't know stores, not even Inglewood, Compton, no liquor stores they only sell white or black.
The Marathon store itself sells red shirts.
Yeah, they do.
Not plain red shirts.
It's not that, bro.
I'm saying I'm being verbatim what he said.
He didn't say plain. So you adding words.
Okay,
He
but
said, he said don't know liquor stores around here.
Okay, but what's
sell
more
red shirts.
what's more
Liquor
important,
stores, bro.
What's more important? What point was Blacc Sam trying to make by saying that?
He just saying somebody sent them, but everybody alluding that if he's saying didn't somebody sent them, it had to be Big U because Big U the biggest name through there, and they know they had differences over the years. Rolling 60s is one of the deepest hoods in LA County. He could have been alluding to anybody else. It didn't have to just be Big U.
Yeah,
And if he's gonna be that bold, it seemed like, he would at this point, if he wanted to, speak directly about who he chose to speak about.
Nah, cause it ain't no statutes of limitation. That's telling, bro.
I mean, if that's the case, he still is insinuating.
He alluding.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
He could have just said what he originally said. I don't want to talk too much about it, and then just ask Big Boy what's the next question. But he gave his little theory hypothesis that was alluding to somebody from the set sent him that had a grudge with him, and everyone now on the internet is pointing to one guy.
Okay, like you
Right?
said, from the set though. Why when he made when he said what he said, why do everybody assume that he talking about Big U? Because they had the history they had over the years. Because like I said, Rolling 60s from Western, damn near to fucking La Brea. Well, you think it couldn't have been nobody else that had an issue with him or sent that man other than Big U? Why they assuming him?
well, they did, thanks to Blacc Sam, he did mention DJ Khaled. There are scenarios that everybody are expounding on that include DJ Khaled. So maybe that's kind of leading people to think that both conversations are connected.
No, Big Sam brung up the Big U situation, but you have J Cats, like we ain't gotta name him, and he placed himself being one of the dudes that ran DJ Khaled off. But guess what? When Blacc Sam said what he said, it went without incident. Everything went good. So that's what I'm saying. Like the internet go do what it do, man. And people, you know what I'm saying? We just got people in the right places, the sections and all that shit in real time. They know what time it is, but I don't believe Big you had anything to do with anything. I don't even think he was sent. If so, that was very messy. I think he got mental health problems, drug problems, and he did what he did off of impulse and being emotional.
And he's still not speaking. At this point, somebody that was sent that did what he did would have broke by now, I believe, and told everything.
Yeah. I think Munchie is 100% correct. The way you just described it. Mm-hmm. He got emotional. He's probably... we learned a lot about his mental state during sentencing. Unfortunately, it didn't come up during trial. But during sentencing, man, we learned about electroshock treatments, all these pills he was taking since he was young.
What about the drugs mixed with the mental state?
And that's unpredictable what you're going to get out of that.
I want to mention a couple more things. Blacc Sam in that clip said that the red shirt was supposed to be the throw-off, but it can't be a throw-off when you already showed yourself in front of everybody. Like, he already got out the car, shook everyone's hand, had a conversation, so you can't throw anyone off.
I think he was saying the fact that he had the red shirt on deck and you can't get in the area, that was his initial plot for a throw-off.
Oh, like he already had it.
Yes, that's what's his point.
Okay.
He was like, he came over there with these intentions with a red shirt. You can't get one in the area. He only came without it at first to scope out to make sure he wasn't getting in the shootout.
And he said initially he came here and approached just to check it out because he was nervous in the first place.
Well, the body language of Eric Holden when he got out the car does not show a nervous person. He was greeting everybody. He shook Rimpaw's hand, he shook Nipsey's hand, and he shook Cowboy's hand. And actually, I think he didn't shake Nipsey's hand when he left because Nipsey was engaged in a conversation with Cousin Carrie, so there was a little bit of a distance. But it seemed like a regular pull-up. Hey, with the homies. But there was reference to Nipsey saying, "Oh, there goes Shitty. What is he doing here?" You know, it was already like, bro ain't supposed to be here. You know, how is this gonna play out? You know, how is this gonna go?
I heard that phrase.
Yeah. So
if he was sent like you said, bro, they would have drove by.
Who said? Because none of us think that.
No.
Oh, okay. You talking in third person?
He perhaps wasn't sent like you said, because if he was, you know, me and you, we know the protocol, bro. You drive by and see exactly what you're going to get. There's no need to come with the shirt, order the fries and all that. Nobody sees you. You drive by, you see it. You go put your red shirt on, tiptoe up from the Slauson side. Don't come from that side. Come from that side, get your man and be ducked off.
Now let me ask you: does this sound like the activity of a guy that was sent to go do something? Go in a store, order some chili cheese fries. Then not have enough money, go to the car and ask Bernita for a couple more dollars so I can go buy a drink.
And let the broad come out, ask for a picture with him.
And then, well, he didn't have any control over that.
If you driving her, if she driving you to go.
You tell her to stay in the car. Yeah.
No, if you driving her to come put in some work and go accomplish something, why would this female hop out and take a picture?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. If you got someone driving you to go do some dirt and that's the plan, she never gets out the car. She's getting out the car to take a picture with Nick.
Keep it
A
running.
killer under pressure, contemplating in real time. It probably would have something that could have happened that made him change his mind. But whatever that was, didn't happen.
The conversation, man. I think he'd be strapped up like that. Based on me being a across the street, down the street rival, I believe he'd be strapped up like that
every time you go through there.
Often.
Yeah, and I don't think it's unusual for this girl, Bernita Nicholson, who's only dated him for a month, to see him with guns. She testified that every time she was with Eric, he had guns. She said when he went to his apartment with his uncle, they had guns. So in a 1 month period of dealing with Eric, guns was normal.
Was there any confirmation that she was a Hoover affiliate or anything?
No. Munch and I talked about this the other day.
We talked about that, right? We talked about right. And I'm standing on it.
You standing on it. The girl that was a Hoover and Bernita Nicholson.
Hold on, you doing the Munchie and Spider Loc.
Are two different women.
Hold on, Alex B. Alex Loc. You doing the Munchie and Spider Loc. Hold on.
3-8. A3.
Now, the girl they sent from Hoover, not her. She had history with this particular Rolling 60. I ain't gonna say her hood name, but she had history with this particular Rolling 60, and that's where it get intertwined at.
Okay, but that's not the question Spider asked. Spider
No.
asked.
I just threw my little 9s and 2s in there.
I just
but
want to know if it did she ever
No.
be confirmed having
No.
affiliation?
No, I want to make that clear that
No.
Bernita Nicholson, the girl who was dating Eric Holder for that month, has no gang ties whatsoever.
no.
She's a square. She worked as I don't want to say a nurse.
A Lyft driver. She did some little,
Yeah.
probably some in-home care type
She did some
thing.
in-home care type stuff. She was
Yeah.
Lyft drive. She met him Lyft driving,
Yeah.
and they both lived in Long Beach.
So good girls love bad boys. Y'all gotta figure it out, good girls.
And I think she was a girl that was desperate for some male attention.
That's what it is. It ain't the good, but
She I don't want to say.
yeah, kick back.
She was just a young lady that was desperate for male attention. Eric Holder shot his shot from the back of that lift.
They had sex a few times.
And they exchanged information, and they had a 1-month relationship. All right, there's no other history between this girl and Eric Holder.
That's deep.
And let's see, the last thing I want to say about that last clip is that I don't know how Blacc Sam can come to the conclusion that he was supposed to hit that alley from the jump and shoot Nipsey. Like that, he believes his plan was to do that from the beginning. If you just watch it play out, you can tell that he just can't. He decided to do this as he was there.
Well, like I said, I look at it like a brother grieving, and he want to know why. He just ain't go. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure he's thought about this probably more than all of us. Come on.
But he just not thinking rash. He logically, bro. I never lost a sibling. You know what I'm saying? So he thinking like, nah, this ain't. You know what I'm saying? He can't
But
be.
he's aware of all the current tensions, and when something that unexpected happens,
But the current.
it's natural for you to just like, damn, we was into it all in. It might be totally unconnected, but I think you naturally start when something that unexpected happens and you have things that could have possibly brought about that type of result in play. It's just hard for him to separate the two.
But as far as this internet shit, I answered it maybe last year June doing a podcasting thing, and I'm starting to notice you can't give everybody attention because you got people like Loose Cannon that will derail you, and he got a cold imagination, attention seeker, and he got
Fake
mental
Loose
health
Cannon.
problems. So like you can't listen to people like that. And we talking about real life situations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. Before we play the second and last clip, I just think that undermining the conversation that Nips and Eric had is going to cause you to lose why what happened. Cowboy does that. Doesn't really want to talk about the conversation that Eric and Nipsey had, and Blacc Sam doesn't even want to address that conversation. I think to a certain degree, it tarnishes Nipsey's legacy to a certain extent because as a multimillionaire, as a top rapper, as this mogul, you out there politicking some snitch stuff that's really at the end of the day not your lane. And Cowboy knows that.
I don't think it tarnishes reputation. I mean, his legacy. It's a question mark, and it's left to everybody. Whatever you want to go with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Everybody
but-
got their own conclusion to go draw. The only person really knows is Rampaw. If Rampaw's still around,
Look,
and Rampaw talked to Big Sam. I mean, Blacc Sam. Believe it.
Here's how it tarnishes it. We talked about this before with T.I. and other people. What percent of the people care about who snitched on who?
Very few.
So what percent of the fans would be very disappointed that you were having a snitch conversation?
No, some people might be
large.
fueled by
Large, yeah.
that. No, they be fueled by that. Like, oh, Nipsey a real when he pressed this line.
That's the
what the
small
point he was
group.
trying to make.
Yeah, that's the minority. Most of the people do not care who's snitching on who.
How do we know that's the minority though?
What?
Now, how do we know that's the minority?
Real is always rare, bro.
That's what we going off of.
I mean, what else? Morals over money. Money usually is more popular. You know you're taking a rare approach when you say morals over money.
You said morals over money. You said the opposite.
That's the rare. That's the real. Real is rare.
Yeah.
The average person is going to pick monies over morals.
Yeah. So all right. So let's go to the second clip.
Not saying nothing crazy. You're gonna come, you're gonna tuck your tail and be humble. And if not, you're getting beat up on the spot. And we done did it a million times. Hussle done did it a million times. So the fact that he left tell me everything I need to know. It was no argument, you know. It was no sense of threat. Because with that come, like, hey, be on deck. It was none of that. It was just, you know, to me it was, let me come through, let me see what's going on, and then let me, you know, in this broad daylight, man, and it's, you know, it's a lot of unanswered questions, man.
You don't believe he had any dialogue with Nip that day, or did anybody say he said something?
Yeah, no, they had dialogue, but it was in the mix of him coming up, talking to bro, and, you know, whatever transpired, it wasn't an aggressive dialogue. It was just maybe small talk, and then maybe people saying Nip brought something up to him. Okay, he may have, but it wasn't. To me, that don't. Whatever the dialogue was, that didn't justify, or that didn't turn into that. You know what I'm saying? He came there for a reason, and Meg got the reverses. I mean, he got the charges reversed because Hussle asked him something about it and humbled him real quick. But
see,
I think it's gonna come to the light.
Alrighty, so
come on, bro, that say a lot.
yeah, let me go through.
He said a little too much right there.
Yeah, let me go through the main
Hold
points
on.
of that. Like,
That's not saying too much.
okay, hold on, hold that thought. I want to go through the main points of what he just said. One thing he says is there was no argument. That's untrue. He said that any dialogue, it wasn't aggressive. That's untrue. And let me just remind everybody, I was at the trial, and I heard all 15, 20 witnesses that came to court. Nip brought something up. You see how he downplayed that? No, Nip brought something up that was very crucial. The dialogue, whatever the dialogue was, Blacc Sam says, it doesn't justify what Eric did. I agree, but the streets don't always agree with that.
But then he added,
And then wait, the last point, and then he says he came there for a reason. And
he said he probably
the evidence doesn't
came for
support
a
that.
reason. And when he was asked what he asked, he said maybe the charges was reversed, meaning
Yeah.
he's assuming Eric came there to ask Nipsey about a similar situation of himself.
Hey, they were, what I didn't understand, even while I'm listening to the witnesses, was who was really calling who a snitch.
That's what he just made.
Yeah.
But he said the charges was reversed.
Yeah, that's what I'm surprised to hear.
But see, no one knows that because Cowboy and Rimpaw are the only two people that could really tell us what was in that conversation. And we already know Cowboy doesn't want to deal with that conversation.
Rampaw
Rampaw
ain't gonna talk. Yeah, Rampaw was there for the whole
Yeah,
conversation.
I just said that. Didn't I say that?
You said
Rimpaw,
Cowboy.
He said
Yes.
Rampaw
and Cowboy were there for
my
the
bad.
entire conversation.
Okay.
Now the girl, Bernita, she jumped out the car and heard about a minute and a half of the 4-minute conversation. So about 2.5 minutes she wasn't even there for. So even Blacc Sam don't even know what that conversation is, unless he's going by Cowboy.
Like Spider pointed out, key word, the charges was reversed. What do that mean?
He shocked me with that.
It sound like Ned might have brung up some snitch allegations to Shitty, and then Shitty reversed it and said,
Yes.
ain't you a snitch?
See, the girl confused me because Bernita Nicholson testified that Eric was calling Nip a snitch.
That's
And
what
Blacc
she came.
Sam is saying Nip flipped it on him. You bringing this up to me. Now I'm finna ask you something.
Hey, so he's giving us something that we
Yes.
he's helping us understand Bernita Nicholson's testimony now.
Right, because she heard the end of it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, she heard a portion of it because
she didn't hear the beginning when
she didn't hear the beginning and she didn't hear
Right.
the end.
No,
she was there for the middle.
And so when you hear he mentioned the person whose name starts with a D in this same interview and everything that they're trying to bring up because of that, and now he's saying the charges was reversed on Eric.
Ooh,
It's like, oh, so that shit maybe it was in the air about the homie.
That
That's
was deep.
crazy.
and let me just clear up for confusion. When Blacc Sam says Kev Mack in this Big Boy interview, that's Cowboy.
Right.
Cowboy and Little Kev Mack is the same person.
Cowboy, aka Big Thundercat, aka Kev Mack. Kev Mack being his first original, Lil Kev Mack
Yeah.
being his first original name.
Yeah. So, hey, that's deep though. That reverse part is deep.
Yeah, I don't know.
Blacc Sam actually added a piece to the puzzle that doesn't that doesn't help his case, right?
Oh, and it kind of like substantiates some shit I was wondering about, because I keep hearing about this reverse, and he just made me realize like that was something that was really pointed toward the homie.
Well, look, the first time I've ever heard a snitch allegation on Nipsey was in the trial. Isn't it when Bernita testified? And I'm thinking, did she got this confused? I thought Eric Holder was supposed to be the one with the allegation, and Bernita saying no, they're both going back and forth with this. So how can you sit here, with all due respect, Blacc Sam, and say this conversation was not aggressive? That there was no argument. This was an argument. This was an aggressive conversation. And even Bernita Nicholson, who has no dog in this fight, said, yeah, it was a lot of tension in that
It ain't
conversation.
no all due respect, bro. It's just somebody that's great.
Nah, I gotta respect.
No.
Because he lost a brother, bro.
He's not affiliated.
No. I didn't mean it in that way.
Yeah.
I'm saying it ain't all right.
No, that's the way I saying it. With all due respect to Blacc Sam, because he's grieving over his brother, I think he's got it all wrong.
Okay, I didn't mean to say all. Boom. What I'm saying is, why you laughing, bro? No.
It's funny. That's all.
No.
That's my first time laughing.
Nah, y'all made me lose my thought. My bad. It's effed up, bro.
Not bad.
Yeah. But. Yeah, I lost my thought.
No, I think you were. I was saying, with all due respect to Blacc Sam, you were challenging that for some reason. For me, by prefacing.
Yeah, you said, I ain't no all due respect. Then we
Yeah.
start laughing. You got lost your thought.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even mean to say all the.
Because you know what?
But
if I was a
I was
brother
going somewhere with
grieving,
that shit.
if I was a brother grieving in this same situation, I might feel the same way.
That's what I'm saying.
That Blacc Sam feels.
With all that.
I said that a few.
But that would be my feelings.
For earlier conversation, do you think Big Boy paid for the interview?
Ooh.
Nah, this a rollout for the documentary. They got a documentary coming soon.
I can tell you that that he doesn't pay for any interviews on Power 106 because that's against the protocol. But this is not a Power 106 interview. This is called Off the Air with Big Boy.
And just because we talked about it earlier, and this is one of those high-profile exchanges, I just wonder.
I would be surprised because Big Boy definitely falls under the umbrella of journalism. And if he paid for and it came out, shame on Big Boy, because he will get that from all his colleagues within.
So when it comes to integrity, we're in the industry to hit the lick for free.
Yeah.
Nobody should be able to want to share their story for pay, and that's obviously benefiting the platforms.
Yeah, but if you guys want to pay and charge and pay, you can say we're not real journalists, right?
We're not.
Big Boy's a real journalist.
No, we just kick, hack, and be boo on camera together.
Yeah. Big Boy's a real journalist, and he knows the game, and he knows that he's not supposed to be paying for interviews. But hey, who knows?
Hey, bottom line, Nipsey and Rampart, they wasn't homies, they was friends. You know what I'm saying? For real, they was friends.
What do you mean by that?
Mm-hmm. It's the difference between homies and friends, bro. A gang of the dudes around the 60s, that was like Nipsey homies. Like, he had a few friends, and that was like a lot of the all money in.
So you're saying Rampart was much closer.
Who's less obligated, a homie or a friend?
Listen. Rampart and Nipsey, they went to Hamilton together. They came into music together. You know what I'm saying? So he got away from the scene unscathed. He didn't go to court, and believe him and Blacc Sam had a conversation, and Blacc Sam know every bit of that conversation that went on because Blacc Sam was there through and through when he walked up into when the shooting came, and then Rampart broke, which he's not wrong for. Because when bullets fly, you ain't got no blammer, you not bulletproof break. So he lived through it, and he's able to tell Blacc Sam what happened from the beginning to the end of the conversation. And Blacc Sam know all of the conversation. He know. I believe Cowboy, Thundercat, Lil Kevin, whatever you want to call him, he paraphrasing and I think he got some he got a guilt trip because he felt he could have did something for him and he didn't. He got a guilt trip, and that's the only thing that drove him to get on the stand. My opinion, as far as the Cowboy part.
I'm actually surprised there was no return fire on Eric Holder.
Why? Because I don't believe, because me being active this 2012, me pushing up on Rampart, I wouldn't hesitate. I don't think he carried firearm.
Well, according to Blacc Sam, they're posted up at the store with blammers.
Well, do he work at do Rampart work at the All Money In store?
No.
Well, I will feel comfortable walking up on Rampart and
It's very easy when being in an environment that you have occupied over and over again without incident, and when you're in a celebrity and everything is going good, it's very easy to get complacent, bro. It's easy to look in hindsight and judge the security detail, but the fact that they've been in that parking lot so many times without incident, it's not hard for me to realize how they fell asleep on that day. Overall.
So you're not surprised with zero straps?
No, because I could recall when it first happened, J-Rock sharing that he was trying to get with Nipsey earlier that day before he went and got out in the street. And Nipsey told him, "Nah, it's straight today. You ain't got to." So it was a conversation. It was just a natural comfort with the day that caused him to be more lax than he needed to be. It wasn't like he was focusing on an imminent threat and was being careless. He had got comfortable with his routine.
All right, last question I want to ask. From that last clip we watched, the Blacc Sam, he said that the dialogue didn't justify that. I think the streets might disagree with that.
I don't disagree.
Right?
I argue with Munchie about this all the time because if it was something that was justifiable, we would have a lot more incidents through our 30, 40, 20 years on the streets, histories, to say, oh, this happened like that this time. It happened like that this time. I've never heard of such an occurrence. I've known a lot of people been questioned about if they good or not, and there's a process. We politic it, we protocol it, we talk about it, we send paperwork, we call niggas. What we don't do is blame the nigga that brought it up.
I think it has happened.
it has.
It may have.
Yeah.
It has.
It's not the common occurrence. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but I know over my years, I know witnessed it happen, and I witnessed it happen to people
But can you address me since it's not the common occurrence so we can be clear about what we're saying?
where I'm from.
I would say
more-
that.
all right.
Here's the thing.
That started wars, and then
I know better than whatever.
But what tend to happen? Some people be more team the snitch, and then it become them against them.
I made
but I'm saying I done seen people get hurt
I'm not arguing none of that. I made it clear. It's
being
not
a
the
snitch
common
and they wasn't a
occurrence.
snitch, and then people like putting the allegation, bro. But look, quite naturally, the snitch jacket is basically a death sentence, bro. So when somebody put that on you, it's to be taken seriously. You know what I'm saying? Period. I don't know what you in the witness and you older than me, but me and then I indirectly, not in my neighborhood, because my roots is really from the east side, I really witnessed it. You know what I'm saying?
Huh? Bro, I've been living on the east side all my life. It's not, bro, I can tell you whole hoods for the east side niggas that been called snitches and they all still arguing, debating, living together. So it ain't an east side thing. Believe me that,
no, okay. Your portion on this side, I'm going.
I'm talking about the
a little
whole
bit
east
north.
side, nigga.
I'm talking about a little north.
I'm talking about the whole east side. That's not the common occurrence.
but-
It's not even the common occurrence on the west
But
side.
each pockets of the east side is different.
But no, the whole landscape of gangsterism is not the common
Like you said,
occurrence.
east side, just not to be
Because you
particular with a certain
specify
hood.
east side like you had a better understanding of the situation because you were familiar with the east side. That's why.
No. Okay. Let me take away east side.
right, you know
I
what?
said east side, not to just
I don't want
just be particular with one hood.
I don't want to repeat from last week with this
East to
back
west,
and forth.
though, bro.
Here's the
It's
question.
not the common occurrence.
I'm gonna ask the question a little
It
differently.
is for sure.
I'm gonna ask the question a little differently. The Blacc Sam said the dialogue didn't justify that, but here's the question: do snitch conversations and having snitches pull up in the hood lead to conflict within the hood more times than not?
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes that conflict will result in death. Most of the time, it doesn't.
Very much so.
Yeah.
It result in death, and then most times it result into people taking sides.
Look what
And then
happened
they-
at
and then
Peck
they-
Park.
and then they create a war.
Look what happened at Peck Park
And I know
2
him
years ago.
Long live Taz.
That was all about, oh, this guy's a snitch. You
And
brought him there.
And guess what? He was riding with his little homie that was a snitch. That's why I said it result in like immediate, like with Nip, and sometimes they be teaming up. Like Peck Park. Taz came with his little homie trying to ride with his little homie that was completely wrong.
Y'all discussing something that don't even need to be discussed. Ain't nobody discussing it.
It's in the book.
I just said Peck Park.
It's in the books, bro.
I just want to say,
I could make my point, but I'm not even finna engage in that, bro.
yeah.
Man, okay. All right, go ahead.
All I'm saying is that I
That's
think
an anecdotal. If that's your only example though. That's
I got a lot.
Yeah, it is. That if we only got Peck Park to say,
You brought up Peck Park. That's why I elaborate.
But I think that there are more situations like Peck Park. But like Spider said, it doesn't always lead to death. It could be a shootout where someone survived. It could be an argument. It could be a pack out. But it does definitely lead to conflict, and sometimes that conflict leads to death.
9.99 times out of 10, it leads to, let us see your paperwork, and the person presents their paperwork and clarifies their name. That's the most normal occurrence.
And here's the opposite of that. How many people that neighborhoods know for a fact snitched, told, informed, and are still walking around?
Too many to
Yes, that. But you asking two different questions, bro. You gonna have to put a ratio on both of those.
But no, that's what I was trying to establish, a ratio. The most least occurrent thing is somebody gets accused of, or their name comes up as snitching. The most least occurrence is they smoked the person who said it, bro.
Yeah, but
we almost never experienced that.
The question is inspired by what Blacc Sam said in the interview. To a certain degree, Blacc Sam is basically admitting that the conversation was a negative conversation, because when you say the dialogue didn't justify that,
right?
Why are you saying justify that? And you knew it was something more than just,
and then the accusations
no
were
argument.
reversed. And the accusations were reversed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Blacc Sam is, to a certain degree, he contradicted himself.
Unintentionally.
Unintentionally.
You talking about Blacc Sam? He's not from the gang. He's from the culture, but now he's not a gang member. Bro, people don't play with that snitch. You can't do that on. And then they got to go to jail and deal with that. And then until they prove themselves that that's not it, and it be too late, somebody then beat your ass and kick you all in your mouth.
I'm gonna just say on the record, I don't believe that any snitch, any informant deserves death. But I do know the streets have a strict code on that, and that you just don't know if that's gonna happen to you.
Okay, no. Are you saying any snitch or anybody that put an allegation on somebody like that?
I'm just saying, that's a different thing.
But
Yeah.
But I'm saying this person.
You putting a jacket on somebody that might not deserve that jacket.
Or you putting a jacket on somebody is talking to someone else. Asking the individual about it is not necessarily putting a jacket on them. I put a jacket on you, I tell Alex, he all bad. Munchie, he all bad. When I get at you, that means somebody else is attempting to put a jacket on you, and I'm getting at you about it.
Yeah, but you definitely siding with the people who are trying to put the jacket on.
Or I'm just letting you know, look, bro, when you ain't been around, that's what they talking about.
That's the cowboy
story. I don't believe.
No, I'm not. Wait, don't never.
That's the way Cowboy said.
We didn't say you.
I don't know what Cowboy story is.
No, Cowboy basically said, "Hey, there's something going." That Nipsey said, "Hey, man, there's something going on about you. You need to fix that." But as a friendly reminder, that's the way Cowboy says it. That it was friendly. Oh, I'm just letting you know this is going on around. But the body language clearly shows.
Cowboy stated that there was no snitch allegations from Nipsey toward him whatsoever.
No, that ain't what he said.
He never used the word snitch.
He said he was just giving them a heads up. Hey, it's a word out here that you might be telling. Maybe you need to check that out.
I believe, I didn't know that, but I believe that may be the tone of Nipsey's first approach.
But the body language is a little different.
That ain't Nipsey personality. That's what he talks to.
And then when you see Eric Holder in that Master Burger after that conversation, he's upset.
But I was told that after he first addressed Eric, he went to the businesses and said, hey, his money ain't no good over here until he get his shit cleared. Don't accept no money from him. So it may have been the extras that was reported Nipsey put on it that caused him to go.
That didn't happen in that parking lot.
Okay.
Not that day. He didn't even have no money to pay for his food.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's on record. He had to ask abroad. But can I ask y'all something real quick?
Go for it.
Let me just go off of my scenario because I'm knocking on 35 when it come October. So if somebody been doing what they doing since 12 or 13, and then I'm reaching 34, and then I have somebody say, or a legend that I might have told, so that's putting like you about to strip me from all my identity because all my friends is gang members. Because after this, I ain't gonna have no more friends. I'm alienated, and then when somebody tell of what I know, something's supposed to be done to you, whether it's physically or it's death. Why am I not supposed to take that serious on a person? And people taking that lightly, saying that's not justified.
No, I think that there are a group of people that are going to take it
that's
serious.
when you get off and swing. If you take it that serious, you beat a nigga up right there for saying it. It's your homie. You do not blame your homie, bro. I don't give.
You're not my homie if you putting something like that on me that's supposed to get me killed.
I'm through with it,
Snitches
bro.
get
I've been
killed.
gangbanging too long, nigga, to make it seem like it's normal for a nigga to bring up some some allegations.
You can only speak for your section.
No, I'm talking about for the whole gangbang experience. Niggas don't bring up allegations to get smoked, bro. That ain't how this shit go.
But here's another thing that might have.
This ain't how this shit go, bro.
Here's another thing that might have got Eric really feeling a certain kind of way. This conversation happened in the presence of Rimpaw, Cowboy. There was actually another person, an unidentified person. So that's another thing. Like, you doing this in front of other men.
I'm more tuned in to the other elements of it that made him snap, other than you're questioning me about a potential.
We ain't questioning you. We all dialoguing.
No, I'm talking about Eric and Nipsey.
Okay.
I'm talking about Nipsey questioning Eric. That's what I'm talking about, bro.
All right, man. We ran a little long. Any final thoughts on the Blacc Sam interview before we wrap this up?
Shit, man. I send my condolences, and I understand in a way why he, he conducted the interview why he did, because ain't nobody go exactly, you know what I'm saying, get how he grieving. People grieve different. He want to know why. You know what I'm saying? And everybody else, they just got this realistic, you know what I'm saying, type of little point, like I do. But that's his brother, and his understanding gonna be effed up, and I get that coming from him. And that's all that is.
I agree to a large extent. Sometimes I think less is more. And with his pure intentions of trying to get on here and clarify without and still keep it solid, I think that's why we learn sometimes you don't say nothing. Because I think he's still sharing enough information to help shed a more light on the situation for the laws.
Well, he definitely got all the conspiracy theorists recreating more content. He's getting a whole lot of people got their YouTube going on who did what and how it happened, and this guy standing in the shadows over there was part of it, and the guy across the street is part of it, and the girl is a part of it, and I guess you got to say Rimpaw and Cowboy's a part of it if you buy into any of this BS. But I believe Eric Holder was a rogue agent. He went rogue all on his own. He was convicted on his own. It's been 5 years. And trust me, if anybody else was involved, Detective Cedric Washington would have been on that person's ass, because they was investigating this case like no other.
That's the leader of 77?
Yeah, he was the lead he was the lead homicide detective in this case.
Ballhead.
Yes. Yeah. So, they didn't find any links to anybody else. And that's what it is. And this is another episode of Straight Politicking on You Fools, and we out.